Oh my goodness gracious me! Liverpool Football Club have failed, have failed, have failed. I said I'm proud of them as long as they're going for the player. And it looks like Chelsea have agreed a fee around 150 million. I don't know how that is possible because they're not supposed to, go above the 111. They did it somehow. They did it some way. So let me bring back some of the regulars. Anton, let's get him on. Let's get him on. Anton,
Scam on
bro,
people. Scam on.
what's going on, bro?
FFP. I don't think that is there actually such thing as FFP now. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Or someone's getting paid somewhere.
I just can't believe it, and how in this world we live in right now, and the way things are
Mm.
going, are we allowing this to happen? Why is it always happening in football now? We know what Chelsea
Mhm.
have done with Roman Abramovich. We know they've been sanctioned. We know they couldn't do transfers. They cheated their way again and again and again, and they're
And
still
this,
doing it. And there's
yeah,
nothing getting done about it, mate.
bro, bro. You know what they're saying is when they're saying the nice guy finishes last.
Yeah,
It's as simple as, bro. This is a dog eat dog world, man. Shark eat shark, man.
yeah. There's
There
something
could
got
be
to be
no
done.
fair play. They said about fair play, but that should have been came. They should have came through. If something like that came through, I think the fair play people should have been. Hold on, you can't do that.
Hmm.
According to our books, you know what I'm saying. Not wait till they sign and then probably 5 months down the line, you might have done something. You need to check your books. You know what I mean? But they already got the
Yeah,
player. So what's the point?
yeah,
What's
yeah.
the point? There's like no justice or anything, is there? So I
No,
think we just
there
have
ain't,
to
mate.
join the bad boys and you know what it's
Yeah.
saying
And
about
to carry on, I'm just gonna change the microphone here, bro. Just
yeah,
carry
yeah,
on,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. I think we should go on just be the bad boys and jump into all money. You know what I mean? Just get all the oil money, mate. It's the best thing to do. Everyone else is doing it. It's a trend, and we're going on. We're like we know what we don't want to do. We want to be legit in that, but the nice guys that we are finish last and get everything last. So yeah,
Where do we go from here, brother? Like
upsetting,
exactly.
upsetting.
Like this is not saving our reputation, is it? This is not saving our reputation. So where do we go from here, bro?
Well, it's a laughing stock from us. It's like laughing. People are laughing at us, man.
Yeah, man.
It's not just rival fans. It's not rival fans, man. It's laughable,
Yeah,
man.
it is. It is, bro. Like we brought back. We brought. Sorry, today John W. Henry arrived, thinking like the big bad wolf is here. He's gonna do his bits, and nothing happened, bro. Like it's still they still did their business. The worst part of it, in my opinion, Anton. Yeah,
Mm.
we let them do their transfers here.
Mhm.
Try to get finance here for the last few days when we agreed everything with Brighton. Why did
Mhm.
we waste time doing all that stuff when we could have just, pulled that and said, you know what, let's go somewhere else. Let's go get another player
Why
and
couldn't we just get
save
Lavia straight
face.
away, man? Why didn't we just go get Lavia straight away? You should have gone. You shouldn't have just gone for Caicedo. To be honest, was
Yeah.
they had agreement from May. So
Mm.
why just why that go and steal it? And if you go and steal it, you're gonna go and steal
Yeah.
the player
Yeah.
with a big British transfer fee, and then
Yeah.
get told I don't want to go to you. That's insulting, man. That's
Uh,
insulting. So
it is so our reputation, Anton. Where do we go from here, brother? Like, what I mean? It's embarrassing
mm,
enough as it is. Like everybody's
mm.
gonna be laughing at us now. I mean, and I
That's it.
said,
We're laughing stock.
yeah, yeah,
We're
we
laughing
are.
stock. Man.
There's no way back from this, Ant. You know that. Like,
Embarrassing, embarrassing. I still wear my kit with pride. I know I love my team to bits, but you know what?
mm,
I think other fans can understand this FSG, but it's a little bit of Klopp as well. You know what I'm saying? Like just sucking up to them, bruv. It's puppet man. It wants to be the puppet man.
Yeah,
I think
it's
he knows it
embarrassing.
well. That's why
Yeah,
when people come up,
let me bring some more people in, Anton, because we got to discuss this, man. This is unacceptable, brother. I mean, let me bring in a 12-man, Uncle Rod's, and I think Harley's on his
bring them,
way as well. The team is here, innit? So,
assemble.
yeah, bro. Listen, I told them, if we don't win this, it's gonna be the most embarrassing transfer ever, and it's looking that way. Liverpool Football Club should never ever be bullied into transfers, and especially players going to Chelsea, bro. I don't give a damn how much money they offer, Ant. You know what I mean? We should not be held to ransom, first of all, and make us wait while they do their, transfers here and transfers there until they get the money together to, get the transfer over the line. The worst thing about this is, Anton, like, Brighton have done us dirty as well, bro. It's not just Chelsea. Brighton have done us dirty as well, brother. And I don't know what to make out of that at the moment, because they have to pay us something. We missed out on a lot of players, bro. We missed out on a lot of players, and not only that,
Bro.
the inflation now on players is going to be over the roof.
the thing
It's going
is,
to be over the roof, bro.
why didn't we go for Lavia when we was going for Lavia instead of paying 48 million, 43 million, 44 all this million when he just wanted 50? Give the 50 million, but you just surprise everyone and try to go for the big guy who's already agreed to somewhere else.
Question, Anton.
For me,
Uh-huh.
for
Go
me,
on,
I
carry
don't think they should be sanctioned. I think again that's down to us, boss. That's down to us. I know they're saying about, but it's in their hands. You know what I'm saying? It's up to them if they want to see and hold on for the bigger sell, bro. It's up to them. It's their player. They've done
Anton,
the dirty work from early. We should have done the dirty work early, and look, players like that we should have went a long time ago. I
Anton, we've
think,
been
tell the
watching.
truth, be honest,
Yeah.
when Man United was looking to go for him for about 30 million at the time,
Yeah.
as soon as they said no, we should, oh yeah, we'll take him.
And we was looking at him at that time as well, brother. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. These guys, FSG, don't want to pay no money, but they don't want to send those. You don't want to pay people scout. You don't pay scouts to go and do the right work, man.
Man, look at our academy as well, Anton. It's the worst academy I've ever seen. I've never seen
It's the
so many
worst. You get a
skinny
few
boys
players
in my
who-
life in
yeah,
one
but they-
academy,
but
man.
they-
They need to
it's
feed
not-
people in that academy,
Listen,
man. Come on.
You put them against Man City. You put them against Chelsea. You put them against all the.
They get bullied, bro.
Not the
They
same.
eat them alive.
They get smoked. They get smoked all the time. I don't know
Oh.
who's that scouting program. I don't know who's doing it, bro. It's poor.
Anton, we grew up on things like this. We used to play. But I've never seen an academy. It's like, what you call it? It's one of those academies that you have to feed people in. Like, you look at Man City. You look at Chelsea. You look at they go all over the country, bro. Liverpool, it's just Liverpool, and that is it. You know what I mean? Why can't we go around the country and get bigger kids in this academy, and and then FSG don't have to worry about
That's what I'm saying.
buying players here and there, bro.
They're going on like the Atletico Bilbao, only getting Basque players. That's quite romantic. Don't get me wrong, mate. It works out when it's good, man. But it's not doing this. It's job for us, mate. I'm sorry, because they're not the best players.
Man, I don't know where we're gonna go next, guys. You know what I mean? This is what we saw on Twitter today, man.
He's looking to go there as well.
Yeah, bro. Like, they're double doing us, bro.
If he goes, he's saying to us, "Serve you right," because I wanted to come to you, but you went and try and get this guy. So do you know what? I'm going to join these guys. You know what? I might be sub, but you know what? F you, Liverpool, because you just messed me up. I'm telling my family that I'm coming, and things like that, and you're going to done me dirty. Go and get.
You know what? You know what I've even heard,
million.
and you know what I've even heard here, bro. Like with Chelsea, they found a loophole to buy this player. You know what I mean? In a way, even if they get fined, even if they get sanctioned and all that stuff, they don't care. You know what I mean?
That's what I said from early, 100%.
Because eventually they'll get their lawyers together and find another loophole they can get out of, to play in the Champions League or whatever next season or something like that along those lines if they're banned. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, Anton. I swear to God, mate. If Liverpool don't do something now, I'm hoping Liverpool go 1-1-6. You know what I mean? Do something different. You know what I mean? Why do we just have to sit back? John W. Henry is in England after this transfer has happened, after this mess has happened. So what's your response to this? Are you gonna let it happen, or are you gonna like counter that as well? You know what I mean? It's pathetic, bro. It's absolutely pathetic, and I'm not
Again,
taking this anymore, man.
again, it's not Brighton. Again, it's not Caicedo. Caicedo is in his rights. But the thing is, we should have got him a long time ago from way back then. But now,
Yo,
trying to do a surprise one. What's that?
yo,
What's
what's
going
good?
on, Uncle
Listen, you know
Ross,
what it
man?
is? You know what it is, yeah? It is Caicedo and it is Brighton. I'll tell you why, yeah? Caicedo at the day allowed himself to get his head turned at the day by his agent. Because if at the day what he's saying is true, he had an agreement at the day with Chelsea from was it from May time and they agreed personal terms or whatever, yeah?
Hmm.
Well that means that the day that's a done deal, right? Yeah, and then Chelsea, all Chelsea had to do at the end of the day is like pay the money at the end of the day, at the end of the season, and he rocks up with Stamford Bridge at the end of the
Yeah.
day for medical deal done. But obviously, it wasn't the case at the end of the day. He didn't agree nothing with Chelsea because remember
Yeah.
at the day, you know, he was also touted out by sort of like Arsenal wanting him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He said he wanted to go to Real Madrid. Do you know what I
Yes, he
mean?
did.
So
Yeah.
nothing was certain. Anyway, by that now, right? You look at the scenario now, right? The scenario is at the day, right? Is that we saw the availability on Caicedo. We went in for Caicedo and we had this bid, right? Had a bid, it was a bidding auction, right? We won the bid. Fair and square, won the bid, fair and square. We offered more money than Chelsea. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Even that now, you take that scenario. If at the end of the day, right, yeah, that they had this so-called agreement and then they with Caicedo and Caicedo want to pay for Chelsea all along and everything that right, they wouldn't have got to this part where it's got like a bidding auction. They wouldn't have got to that because at the end of the day, Chelsea would have got him long time
Yeah.
because at the end of the day they've got an agreement. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's what they
I think
that's what
that's
they
I think that's with the agents. You know, I think they had like a thing with the agents way beforehand. Like I said, we were saying about May. I think they had an agreement from May,
if that's the
and
brother, if that's the case.
they've grabbed the agent and said, look, if you get this over the line, we'll give you 20 million straight up
Yeah, but if that's the
cash.
case, if that's yeah, I understand that. But still, if that's the case, and in that they had this agreement, whether it was with Caicedo, whether it was with his agent, whether it's with Brighton, my argument is at the end of the day, it wouldn't have got to a bidding auction the other night because that deal would have been wrapped up if that was the case.
But that's with
It's
the
only
again. That's with the player. That's with the player. That's
no,
with the
but what?
player.
Yeah, but what I'm
That's with
trying
the
to yeah,
player.
I
So
hear you, I hear you.
that's with the team. We've gone to the team and said, Brighton said we're going to put 111, bam, and it's like yeah,
They,
you're
no,
going
no,
to go, and
what?
they're like, but still,
Hold
it's
on.
up to the player still at the end, isn't it?
Anton,
No,
Anton,
no, no, no,
let me.
no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Hmm.
Let me say something. What it is at the day, what you got to understand at the day, yeah, right, is that Chelsea was bidding the money, right? Was bidding money before,
Yeah.
and they didn't put up the right money. So then it's gone to that bidding auction. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Chelsea was involved in that bidding auction.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what I mean? Because they put down a bid for 100 million. We put down a bid for 110 million,
Yeah.
right? We won it. Then at the end of the day, what happened? We agreed terms at the end of the day with Brighton for the fee. Yeah, that's one. We agreed personal terms with Caicedo because there's a medical book. You cannot book a medical without agreeing
Without.
personal terms.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
my point. Do you
Yes.
know
So
what I mean? So hold on,
he
hold
took
on.
the 250 grand,
Anton,
and we
Anton,
were
let
gonna
Uncle
was
Ross
offering him
finish.
how much we were offering him.
Anton, Anton, let him finish.
Hold on, to that right. The mere fact at the end of the day, right, that Todd Bowley at the end of the day was called in America. He flew in to England. The mere fact at the end of the day, he was allowed to go to the agent, get in the agent's ear and say X, Y, and Z. And then all of a sudden that day, right, Caicedo saying that day, well, I'm a Chelsea fan. You know, I always want to play for Chelsea. You never said that before, right?
Nope.
And he started talking about agreements in May, which he never said before, right? Then Brighton, at the end of the day, right, allowed them time at the day. to do this. They allow them time.
Exactly. One day already agreed with Liverpool, and
Very agreed with it. That's what
deadline
people
was
don't
over.
understand.
Deadline was over.
It's over. It's done. It's like having a transfer window. Check that you've got a transfer window, right?
Yeah.
Transfer window finishes at September the 1st,
Yeah.
right? Everything got to be done. What is it? It's like you going in a week later, right? A week later and saying that day, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to buy this player, and you got to let me buy this player. And furthermore, in that day, right? You got to let me. You got to wait till I raise the money to buy that player. What it is at the day is this. This is. Now I said this last night on my show. Yeah.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
This is corruption at the highest in the day, right?
100%.
Corruption at the highest.
100%.
You cannot blame FSG, and you cannot blame Klopp, because what it is at the day, they saw an opportunity, they took the opportunity, right, and they did it fair and square, and we got mugged off and everything that, right? Ever since 2003,
Yeah.
when Chelsea come into this, I've just tweeted this out. Ever since 2003, when Chelsea come into when they got rich owners, and right, and the Premiership, right, they've been allowed to corrupt football. They've taken the integrity of football away, right, and they're still allowed to do that up to the present day with this situation, because there's no way on God's green earth anybody can convince me at the end of the day what Brighton did was right.
Yeah.
Nobody can. It's God's green earth, and they can convince me. What Chelsea done is right.
It's their product, though. It's their product.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Anton,
Anton,
calm down, guys. Listen. At the end of the day, what we need to understand here, we follow the rules, Anton. We was going for Lavia, but we found an opportunity that Caicedo is available. We asked Brighton before we even had a bid for him. They said, if you pay this much, which Chelsea can't pay, he's yours. So we dropped other transfers to get to this one. So now we're fucked in either way. So you can't blame FSG. He's saying you can't blame Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean? So if the parent club is agreeing deals and saying there's a deadline and you meet that deadline, so whose fault is this, Anton? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying. That's what Anton was saying. We followed the rules. We've done everything.
The league started this today.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they go and do this beforehand?
Why
Liverpool?
Why did they do it so late? Why did they do it so late? And we're getting angry because we didn't get the player.
No, it's only the
Listen. At least they tried. At least they tried in May and speak to my man.
Anton, one second, brother. Anton, one second, guys. Yeah, there's about 57 people watching. Please hit that like button. You're not gonna get any content better than this, so please hit that like button. But
Anton, that makes no sense.
Don't smash the like button. Just press nicely on the like button. Just press nicely. Press like.
Anton, that makes no sense. Regardless of when they spoke to him or not, it doesn't make more sense. What it is at the end of the day, if you go and buy a whip, you go and buy a whip, blood, and you go to the guy and you look at the whip and say, yeah, man, I like this whip. I want this and that, right? And you make an agreement with the guy where we give you like deposit and that, and then he said, yeah, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and and obviously pick it up and so forth, and and then when you go back to the guy tells you at the day, well, nah, man, I sold the whip. You know what I mean?
Sold it for more money.
I already sold it. So I've come all the way down here at the end of the day to buy this whip and everything, right? Yeah. And you've sold it already, and we've got an agreement. And the fact is, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at the end of the day when Chelsea spoke to Caicedo, and then because whenever they spoke to Caicedo, they never had anything concrete. That's what I'm trying to say. They never had anything concrete. It doesn't matter that they, right? Like it's Brighton and they woke up. Brighton and they, is their player? Hold on. Is their player and they could do anything they want with it? That's not how you do business, and that's not how you keep the standards and integrity of the Premier League.
There's no friends in business, bro. There's no friends in business.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say to you at the end of the day, if they wanted to sell to Chelsea all along, they should have just done that. They should have had us come into a bidding auction. We win it. They agree they agree terms with us. we agree personal terms with the player and everything that, and then oh no, we're gonna backtrack now and we're gonna sell him to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And furthermore, what we're gonna do at the end of the day, right, we're gonna actually wait until they got the money to do it.
Oh, that's even worse, Uncle Ross. That's even
Do you
worse.
understand what I'm saying? This is the thing. This is the thing. At the end of the day, they lost the bidding auction at the end of the day, right? So by rights at the end of the day, what Chelsea should be doing at the end of the day is walking away. They lost for the fair. But they didn't do that. They meant at the end of the day, well, look, at the end of the day, well, we want this player, and if they want player, right? They've gone back again and think that they've done some sneaky, underhanded tactics to get the player. And not only that, they've gone out and bought Romeo Lavia and Romeo Lavia as well. So really and truly, all this FFP, right, does not apply to certain clubs. Yeah, only applies to others. And
that's what I'm saying.
They take up to 800 million now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Like I said to Fozzie earlier, we're too much of the nice guy. We've got to be wicked like other people. It's a dog eat dog world, my friend.
Well, whenever we do that,
we're going to have to be like that to get what we've got to get. I'm sorry, that's how it is, because we're going to be left behind. Like people say,
but whenever we do that,
they don't want the oil money. Now bring it in now, because obviously it's not working. This nice guy approach is drabs. I'm gonna get.
There's too many of this.
With the Lavia thing, again, we lost that because of us.
But you know what? Do you know what? Though?
42. How you?
Uncle was letting.
No, go. Sorry.
$2 million. If we're gonna go in Lamborghini and say, you know, I'm gonna leave £40. But I want this car, it's 100,000. What do you think they're gonna say to me? You laugh at me, man. Come, you know the price, bro. Come on, man. Big institution like Liverpool. I'm fuming inside, bro. For me, people there's too many excuses for the wrongdoings. These guys are doing wrong. I know that. We all know that. FFP and all that, but they're letting them doing it. So why don't we do the wrong thing? Why don't we do it?
Yeah.
Can I answer that question? Big man? Can I answer the question? Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying and I understand what you're saying and actually agree with what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? Three things. Agree with what you're saying. But the only problem is at the end of the day, is it Anton? Is that your name, Anton?
Yeah, Antoine. Go on, call me
Antoine. Boy, little French thing going on. Anyway, no, but the only thing with that, right? You know what I mean? Is that whenever we do something in a day, right, we get pulled up straight away. Trust me, we get pulled up straight away. Because you remember,
carry on. But we need to get some lawyers that do some loopholes and do the same thing they're
well,
doing.
We
need to sack some people and get some real snakes, bro. That's the only way. Well, that's where it's working.
Well, that's the way it's working.
No, facts.
It's working. They're telling me 115 things for Man City, and then man are just walking away with Champions League and thing and what? When them things are happening,
where's that case going anyway? Where is that case?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to happen for a while. It's not going to happen
because that guy's getting paid and everyone's getting paid. It's all handouts.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go with the messages, guys. You know what I mean? There's so many messages on here as well. Like we can't ignore the people. Obviously, Dave LC Cop says Chelsea have found an agreement with Chelsea, so we're Brighton to sign Moises Caicedo for 150 million on a deal until 2031. Wow. I've never seen a deal like this in my life. What's happening to the 5-year contracts? Is that going out the window? You know what I mean?
That's going to 2032, you know? It's going to 2032 with the option of 2032.
It's slide. They do that. So if anything, they can loan off the player.
Of course. Please, people, press that like button. Press that like button for us.
The like button, man. What up to
Bass says sad times and Lavia too. Yeah, Lavia's gone. Unfortunately,
we should have got a long time ago, Foz. Why?
Yeah, but the thing is, Anton.
And now Chelsea just said to us, you know what? If you're gonna fuck us, we're gonna fuck you too. Let's get him.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, bro.
I can't disagree with you.
But this is Anton. Like I said to you,
200 grand sit on the bench.
Anton, this is what I said to you. That's why I'm pissed off with Brighton. You know what I mean? They said
no. I can't. You know, that's what I'm saying, Anton. You know what? I cannot disagree with you on that one, Lavia. That's one thing at the day that I would say we fucked up on, because what they should have done at the end of the day, right? Even when at the end of the day, right, that sort of like Chelsea came in for the first and sort of like offered 48 million, remember? 48 million. Yeah. What Chelsea or Liverpool should have done and said, look, gone straight to Southampton. Because there you go, 50 million. 50
Yeah, of
million.
course.
Let's use that
100%.
same money, and then you know what? Then maybe go for Caicedo and say, you know what? They try to fuck with us. Caicedo, look, it's 50. Yeah, we drop you 50. You know what? We'll drop the other 50. Give it another week. Why not get the guy in first? Why
It's
not
bad.
play around? But you too arrogant. There was a lot of arrogance from Liverpool.
But how is it that this
from Klopp
they
and
do it though?
FSG? I'm sorry, there was a lot of arrogance there.
No, but-
Anton,
so
but the
we're
thing
gonna
would be,
come
the
to
thing
us
would be,
anyway.
guys, the thing would be, guys, is like, how did they find a way around 111? How did they find a way? They could have got above that.
Because
They could have got
paid
equal that.
people. They paid people, man. They paid
must have-
people. Come on.
Yeah, because their
Oh.
spending's gone up to thingy now.
Over hours.
They're spending, and then trust me, they're spending in 12 months since because it's about 12 months, isn't it?
This
since,
year.
yeah,
as well.
so 12 months. Yeah, isn't it? It's 12 months till obviously since these people and they have taken over Chelsea. Their spending in a 12 months in a day is 800 million. They've been allowed to spend 800 million. So what is this?
What's the cutoff point? What's the cutoff point for them? Is
There ain't. It doesn't look like there is.
There's not, and you got people like Newcastle at the day, right? Newcastle, right? Even before at the day, they got their rich owners at the day, right? They wasn't allowed to spend money because of the FFP. Yeah, they wasn't allowed to spend money. Everton, the same. Remember at the day that they was going to get dock points and everything like that because of like FFP and the fact. And these guys at the day, right, are allowed at the day to do whatever they want. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is about that, right? What I give FFP their dues and everything that, right? Pay devil's advocate. FSG probably thought and was probably thinking at the day, well, look, surely at the day, right? They cannot sort of like afford to get like Lavia, and you know what I mean, and this guy as well, yeah. And at the day, right, you know what I mean. The reason why Liverpool did not walk away for that deal because they're so certain, like most of the country was so certain and everything that, right? No. But what is it? What is it's? I don't know. I don't know if I can say it's arrogance. You know what I mean? It's probably more naive. If you understand what I'm saying, because they was
That's
under
a nice way of saying it. That's a nice way of saying it.
I know.
Uncle Ross, can I ask you guys a question? Yeah, like as soon as we agreed the deal with Brighton, and everything was done, like when the cut-off point was there. By that time, when we was talking to them, why did we send the medical team over to London to do the medical? Why did we wait? Do you get what I'm saying? To wait for Chelsea to respond on all that stuff. Because we done the deadline, we done everything, we agreed, everything was done. But why did we make? We knew where he was. We knew he was in London. We got an office in London, big office in London. So why don't we send the medical team over there and wait until the deal was agreed and the cut-off point was there? Why didn't we just do the medical straight after that?
You know what happened? This is what happened today, right? This is what happened, and I can only speculate what happened. Yeah. Right. They've done the bidding thing, and I think they won the bidding thing. Yeah. Right. They've agreed the fee at the end of the day with the Brighton. So yeah, we're going to fee. We're going to give you 111 million. Blah 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 blah. And I think that right, boom, done. Yeah, you good. Yeah. Then at the end of the day, what's happened, and I think that right is that they've gone to Caicedo and discussed personal terms with Caicedo, because you can't book a medical without discussing the personal terms. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be discussed. So they've done that. I think that right.
I think that goes for the club, innit?
Yeah. In the meantime of them doing that, do you know what I mean? Right. There's a guy at the day, right, that's with Chelsea and is their sporting director at the day, and he used to be with Brighton. They took him from Brighton along with Graham Potter. Graham Potter. They took them both in that, right? Graham Potter's gone, but this fella's still here. Now this fella in the day, right? Yeah, that was sort of like as the sporting director, he was the one that was responsible for bringing Caicedo to Brighton. Do you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
What's happened in this scenario is that in day lost the bid. they've he's gone on the phone and they to Todd Bowley and said, yes, no, sorry, but you know what, we lost a bid. Liverpool's come in and offered more money. You know, we lost a bid in auction, right?
Yeah.
Todd Bowley said to him in the day, no. Try and stall it at the end of the day until I come to England. I'm gonna get a plane now.
Spot on.
Right?
Now I get you.
Yeah,
now I get
England, right? So then at the day, right, is that there's probably the sporting director in the day, right, is gone to the agent in the day, right, and said like just sweet talk to him and say, look, at the end of the day, right, you know what, X, Y, and Z and everything that is going to be a couple of million in there for you if we can get this deal going at the end of the day, right? But I need you to stall Caicedo. I need you to stall Caicedo and tell Caicedo any little thing and everything that stall Caicedo. He's gone back, spoke to Caicedo and said X, Y, and Z. You're going to be put on 250 grand a week and everything that, right? Which is more than what we was giving him.
Yeah,
and
there's your 20 million.
Yes,
so then at the day, Caicedo's come out and said that they, well, I want to, well, the thing is about it, right? From the media, we're getting that day that Caicedo is come out and said, one, he's a Chelsea fan. He's always wanted to play for Chelsea, and still agreed for
it. It's the same about Arsenal. It's the same about Real Madrid.
Right. So really and truly, Dave, we don't know if it's Caicedo. More time in the day, right? More time in the day. It could be his agent saying that. Do you know what I mean? Right? Yeah. Because McAllister's already said it in the day, right? That his agent is a wrong one. He's already said that.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So anyway, right. So what's happened then? I think that right. There's bound to stall it. You know what I mean? Because Caicedo the day or whatever, it's gone back to sort of that thing and said, well, I don't know now. Do you know what I mean? Blah 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Right. So then they managed to stall it, and then Todd Bowley's coming to town and everything that, and that's when he started to work his corruption, and that's what his corruption and everything that, because at the end of the day is this: if you enter into a transfer deal and everything that, right, and you don't meet the transfer deadline, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like for instance, that you get outbid or whatever. Is it
deadline? Was their deadline?
Yeah, the deadline for the auction. If you in there don't meet the requirements for the deadline for the auction and that, right, and it's closed and everything, that means it's done. What my argument is, what I said on the show yesterday when I was talking, you was there yesterday.
I remember.
My argument is that how comes at the day, right, that Todd Bowley was allowed to extend an agreement at the end of the day, right, that was already done until at the because remember at the day now, this was all done. Remember, this is all done Thursday night.
Yes, sir.
Thursday night, Thursday night, 12 o'clock, 12 midnight Thursday was the deadline. That was the deadline. It's done and the thing that it's taken to midnight Thursday, right? Or you might say midnight Friday morning, till now at the end of the day, right? For them to say, right, finally, and they sorted out the money to get Caicedo, and they sorted out the money to get Lavia as well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
At the end of the day, and this is what at the end of the day, this is what at the end of the day makes me fed up about football at the end of the day, right? Because we can all criticize FSG.
1 second, Uncle Rods. 1 second, Uncle Rods. Nurabits, just wait a second, I'll bring you in, people. There's about 49 people watching. Please hit that rock button. Let this trend. Let this trend so we could get subscribers here. Subscribers for Uncle Rod and other channels as well. Please do that for us. Go on, Uncle Rod. Finish it off, brother. Yeah.
So what's actually happened in the day, right, is that with me now, I just think at the end of the day, the whole integrity at the end of the day, right, in football is gone. There's no integrity in there. It's no fairness. It's all corrupt at the end of the day, and it's all at the end of the day to suit the teams at the end of the day, right? That's got the bigger pockets. Do you know what I mean?
Money.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what makes me fall out of love with this beautiful game. That's what makes me feel that I don't. Sometimes I don't want to watch football, especially today. And the day today was a prime example at the day where McAllister got fouled and everything that. McAllister got fouled. And he got a yellow card.
No, but he was doing that. He was doing that, Uncle Ross. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You can't do that. You can't waste time. Remember the back in the day.
What I don't understand is the handball. He did that. He did that.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. But my bad. I stand corrected. But there's other things as well. There's other
Yeah.
things in football, not even to do not to just to do with us. And then
Yeah.
look at the time at the day when Rodri handball in the air and everything. That should have been clear penny for Everton.
Guys, we'll talk about football tomorrow. We're back tomorrow around 10ish, 10:15. We're going to talk about actually the Premier League, and then let's talk LFC. But let's continue with this.
But you know what I mean. It's just just other things. But what I'm trying to say is to round it off, and then right. It's just that the whole integrity of football is gone, and then right. And Anton is right. He's right. We're now at the day, we're gonna just have to play as dirty as they are now. We're gonna have to play as dirty as they are now. We're gonna have to get lawyers at the day that know all the sneaky underhand tactics and snaky tactics. We're gonna have to do it now. We're gonna have to get down and get our hands dirty. That's all, and that's all we can do. So what Anton said at the day, right? I 100% agree with what he just said. 100% agree with it.
Anton, you want to add on anything to that, mate?
Yeah, bro. Exhausted from them, man. I'm exhausted for the movement, man. This is what it is. I'm exhausted by the movement, man. Don't get me wrong. I was happy that they put that 101 million. There was, okay, do you know what? At least they're trying now.
Yeah.
But it's the dragging of the feet, bro. Because you got the first two punches in.
Yeah.
And then the whole dance, you get beat up at the end. We get McAllister, and we get Soboslai. You think, okay, it's gonna be one more hit, and then them guys have just gone missing, bro. And then they told me 100.
Land the right hand. Land the killer blow. The right hand did it.
Where was the 101 million after the Soboslai deal, bro? Where was that 111? And then we say, do you know what? We've got peas. Let's talk. Let's get man in now, bang.
Yeah.
No, they would have dragged feet and then put their card.
Anton, can I ask a question? Anton, can I ask a quick question? Can I ask a quick question, Anton? Just a quick question, yeah. They say they've offered the 115 million, yeah. Do you think at the end of the day that FSG should have probably said all right then, we'll match that and some, or just walk away?
You know what? You should have gone and get Lavia. Tell the truth. To be honest, you should have gone and get Lavia. It's a sure deal.
You know what, Anton.
The time he turned around and said, "No, I want Chelsea." Bam! Should have been Lavia. Come quickly, come quickly. We was trying to get you afterwards. I was to do some kind of lie, all kinds of lies, bro. I'm telling you, we was gonna get you afterwards. We just gonna come get my man to sit in with you. What? Really? Yeah. I was telling him all kinds of lies just to get him in.
Yeah.
But then man are like, no, we're Liverpool. You know, it's all gonna come to me. Liverpool remind me of that girl in the club, yeah. She's so buff, everyone's gonna come to her. When you get that one guy, say, "You're butters, bro. You're butters. I don't want someone else."
That's an idiot.
She can't take it because she's had pure man ad going for her for years. Pure man going on for years. She's like, you know what? I'm always gonna win. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't always go like you're always gonna win because you're that girl everyone wants. No, eventually you're gonna lose. We lost.
Sad.
Twice we lost.
Yeah.
Hey, this is not the first time, is it? So many deals in the past. Fekir, you could go. The list goes on, man. The list goes on.
Fekir's different though, isn't it? Because I think Fekir and what they tried to do, and I think that with Leon tried to pull a fast one. Because Leon and the fee was agreed and everything like that, and had his medical. He was gonna do a interview with LFC TV. You know what I mean? He was literally gonna do the interview.
He done it actually.
Yeah, well, he done it. But then it wasn't. And Leon and right? Leon asked for more money. They asked for more money, and from that, trying to get more money out of Liverpool. And Liverpool said, "Nah, man."
The French don't like English, bro. The French don't like English from one day. From one day. They don't like, and English don't like them. So the Premier League has gone up. Just remember like this. I'm gonna take it like this, right? Back in the day, Essien was going from in League R. He was going for I think it was 22 million.
No.
Listen,
27.
Listen.
27.
He was going for 27 million. Listen, PSG was going. As soon as Chelsea went in for him, they put the money, double the money.
Wages,
Double
everything.
Yeah, we want more. So we're going to go for him. We're going to say no to PSG because we're going to charge them 45.
The same thing happened with Mikel. Remember, he was wearing Man United shirt. Mikel.
Yeah.
And then next minute he's gone to Chelsea. Let me just read these comments. Yeah,
He was shit anyway.
12 man, he was actually. 12 man says, I'm confused until he is holding up the kit. It's not done deal.
No.
And that is most likely the reason John W. Henry is in London. He's definitely not there to sit in the run down Chelsea Stadium. Yeah.
That's trauma. That's
but
trauma there. Yeah. That's trauma talking.
Don't kill me anymore, man. Don't kill me anymore.
No, please, Wagwan, dog.
Don't kill me anymore, man.
I'm here, King. I'm here, Mo. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Mo? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
So well, bro, you know we're disappointed here. We're crying like babies, isn't it? So what do you think, man? Tell me, man. Tell me your side, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I wrote a piece the other day, saying that it's a little bit too late for us to start, showing our balls when we're not in the Champions League. We're in Europa, but when we were Champions League finalists back to back, winning Champions Leagues, winning Premier Leagues, that's when you're supposed to, throw like
the big money. Yes.
Yeah, throw the big money when your stock is high, and then people then start to have a perception of your players start to have a perception of you. This is
people will respect you outside this thing. Yeah?
Exactly.
Who do we get when we won the Champions League? Who do we get?
Adrian.
We got
Harvey Elliott.
And
Harvey Elliott. Are you smoking? You see what I'm saying?
And who did we get? Who did we get? Right, the following season when we won the Premiership, who did we get?
Oh, we got Thiago and Jota.
No, we never got anybody. We never signed anybody.
The Premier League. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
we never signed everybody.
No, we did. No, it was them two. It was them two.
But wasn't their season and then when we didn't buy
the season after? You're talking about the season after
when all the centre backs got injured.
That season.
Only Konate came.
No, it was before then. Because I think what it was that when all the centre backs got injured. Remember the following season
we bought Thiago and Jota. That's the season we bought.
Yeah, but do you remember that day? Remember the following season? Remember Konate come in?
Yeah, that was it.
Konate come in the following season.
Yeah.
So it must have been before that then.
No,
we never bought anybody at all.
We sold Lovren on the season we won the Champions League. We meant to get a centre back in, which was Konate. Leipzig said you have to wait. For another year because they sold that guy to Bayern Munich, innit? Upamecano, what his name is?
No, it was a league. No, it's a league. It was a league. It was when we won the league.
The season we won. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. But the season we won the league. We did buy the season after, and
but we refused. Remember, we were top of the league in January, but we refused to get centre back cover.
And we got Kabak and Davis
and some hologram didn't play.
Kala Qatar in it. Kala Qatar was on his way or something like that. That guy. Yeah, and then something happened along the way.
Look at what we got. Look at
we're a mess, Uncle Boss. We're a mess. But Anton, wait. Let Mo finish, man. Go on, Mo.
Yeah, man. That's the issue, bro. Like, I just don't understand why we're picking a fight with Chelsea right now, especially after seeing what Todd Bowley is like, what he did to Arsenal, what he's done to almost all teams, like how he doesn't really have his own ideas, but just takes other people's ideas. Yeah. So Chelsea, yes, they came in for Lavia, but we should have just stuck to whatever your plan is. Don't try and play with the big boys like that unless you bloody gonna follow through.
You got the
now we look like now we look like it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, that's true, brother. Like, there's no way, Mo. There's no way back from this. You know that. Like, if this goes through, I just want to know, guys, why is John W. Henry here for? Like,
I told you, bro.
It's not like we won anything.
Do you know what?
What are you doing here, brother?
I'm happy that it happened in front of his face, and hopefully he just realizes he's like, listen, you know what? This FFP stuff is not working. This sustainability thing, I don't think we can continue it, and then just sells off the club to someone that will go toe to toe with Todd Bowley or whoever else.
We're in deep shit, guys. I swear to God. Wiggs said his agent have wasted our time and made Chelsea pay even more. Yeah, it's 100% like Uncle Rod said. They were playing the games throughout this with Brighton, and it made us look bad. But yeah, Baz, bro, what's happening, man?
What time is it?
11:46.
Misery o'clock, man.
Effing double. Fussing and swearing, telling everyone about their Clark right now, bruvs. Listen, all right, it was happening. You know what? As much as I'm a Liverpool fan, I love Liverpool, yeah. But you know what? Good. Really good. You know why? Because we left around so many times with these players, yeah? And these players are Lavia, particularly Lavia. Forget Caicedo for a minute, yeah? The guy wanted to go Chelsea. Bun him, let him go for the money, you get me?
Yeah.
And let him go, bruv. Let him sign a death row contract, 8-9 years. Bun him. But Lavia and people like Shram and stuff like that, who we were linked with and stuff like that, we were like, yeah, maybe, pick up, not sure, don't know, whatever. They want to go. And you know what? Good, because we're just dicking about all the time. So we're dicking around all the time, yeah? We're losing these players. We're in the mud now, yeah? Let's see what these guys are going to do.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm angry. I've been on like 5 streams today, bruv.
I've seen you, bro. I've seen you. And you're aging at the same time.
Look at the white hair. I shaved before, bro. It's gone white.
Oh,
you know what it is? You know what it is? Right, just a quick one, right?
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. We shouldn't sit and wait anyway. We shouldn't have sat and wait anyway. When Todd Bowley come in and all that and said, well, look, Todd Bowley come in and all of a sudden he's like waiting around and stuff. We should have said, look, you know what? At the end of the day, right, this is taking a piss.
Yeah.
We made an agreement with you lot with the money. We made an agreement on personal terms at the end of the day with this guy. I don't care what you do, but get my player up to Melwood or obviously the place in London and for medical, and let's get this situation.
I agree with Baz, bro.
They should have put their foot down.
I agree with Baz, man. I agree with Baz. What did Baz say the other day? If the guy don't want to come to us, then ban him. When he said, I want to go to Chelsea, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, one of them fat mans in the pub knew. You know that man, they even got internet. You know what I'm saying? Even them pub man knew that my man didn't want to go. From then, he's like, you know what, bam, bro, suck him on, bye, bam. Go and get my man. Simple. It would have been like that. Oh, Liverpool said suck him on. Well, yeah, of course. You don't want to come to us? Cool. You want to go to these people there? Go on. Go on with it. Tell him.
Because you know what is a day when we laugh? You know what is when you laugh at them Monday, yeah? The man are going to go Chelsea in the day, right? And they're going to get ruined.
Of course, we know that. Come on, we've been saying that for
Lavia and they ain't going to get no game time, yeah?
Nope.
What's it? Caicedo. The only person that they probably get game time out of that lot is Caicedo, yeah? It's Caicedo. Now, the fact that today, right, he's gone to a club, right? Gone to a club at the day where you don't next 3 months of it, you could have a different manager.
Yes, sir.
And different
ideas.
Different manager, different ideas, and you might not fit in their ideas. Because there's guaranteed that when you get a new manager at a club, there's about 3 or 4 players that take the hit.
Yeah.
That take the hit. He said, no, I don't like this one, don't like that one, don't like that one. Let me bring in my players and everything that. And then you're out in the air.
Yeah.
And that's when you're gonna say let me go to Liverpool. I've always wanted to play for Liverpool. Do one.
Do you know what's so funny about it all as well? Yeah, like Uncle Rod said just there. All right, that Lavia's not gonna get bare games, yeah. Because you know what, in my opinion today, right, Gallagher was brilliant in terms of his energy. You know what I mean? Lavia ain't gonna get a kick, and obviously Caicedo, yeah. This guy wants Real Madrid. He's signing an 8-9 year contract and that year or whatever it is, yeah. But the thing is that he's going to cause them problems, and he ain't going to be here for long. As soon as he's all about himself. He's just going to come play his game. Madrid are going to sniff for him. I want to go there. That was a team I supported from day dot. So you know what? I'm glad we kind of dodged the bullet with him. To be fair, he's a brilliant player. Don't get me wrong, but you know what? Liverpool wouldn't have signed him on a 5-year on a 10-year contract. They'd sign him on a 4.
5. Yeah.
On a 5 or whatever. And what would happen is, come 5 years now, when he's still good at good, all right, they're going to be like, no, we're going to we're going to not sign a contract, and he's going to go on a free. So you know what? I'm glad he's gone over there, and I hope his legs get broken. Sorry, I am just
no, it's true, But I'm with you on that one.
You guys can't say that. Guys, listen.
I can't say that.
Hold on.
I'm gonna get a witch doctor. I'm gonna get a witch doctor. I'm gonna do a witch doctor. Throw some bones on the thing.
Go on, man. Say it.
You remember?
Wait, I see a Juba man.
Yeah.
You know what it is, yeah?
Calm down.
No, Anton, where's your family from, Anton?
1 second, Uncle Rose. Let's read.
Let me ask him where his family from. I was going to ask Anton where his family's from.
St. Lucia, innit? Yeah, that's what it's from.
Yeah, it's right next door to my island, man. St. Vincent. We're brothers, man. We're brothers.
Eddie says, and Eddie says, embarrassing from these incompetent owners, and I don't blame Brighton. I blame Brighton as well, man, for making us wait.
I do as well.
Yeah, you never had an agreement, personal terms. Uncle Rod said they did have an agreement, personal terms with a player, and agent and him stalled for the deal they really wanted. Uncle Rod, they did agree personal terms, right? Or is that,
yes, they did. They agreed personal because I think what it was that happened straight after they agreed a fee with the club. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's what you do when you sort of like.
Yeah, to see if Chelsea didn't come through with the extra money. That's what it was, isn't it? So it was like a
that's what I say.
If they come through after the 90 million plus the 10.
Yeah, because remember, because you're right. You know, Anton, you're right because what it was. And Liverpool wanted to sort of like get the medical done quick before sort of like any hitch-ups. You know what I mean? That's what came out. So really, what they did, and they spoke to the club. Then they spoke to sort of like Caicedo and his representatives, and they agreed personal terms. You know what I mean? And then obviously after all that was done, that's when Brighton, the ex-Brighton sporting director, come in with his with his tactics and everything, then Todd Boehly come in, then the rest is history. But personal terms were agreed because what it is, you cannot sort of like have a medical without agreeing personal terms. It's just impossible. That's not how things done.
Anton, is that true?
But then again, I don't even know now these days.
But Anton has been around the game. We have coached players ourselves. So Anton, is that true? Like, if you agree a deal with the player, obviously with the club, does that mean you agree personal terms with the player?
If it's agree with a deal with the player. For me, it's the clubs. It's the club first because you can get done, and if you go and try and tap the player, you can get done for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's obviously go for the club first. Yeah, the club agreed. Then you go to representatives, and the representatives sit down with him. You know what I mean? It goes that way.
Yeah, and then tell you what you want.
Obviously, we knew the agent obviously taking some money under the table. Obviously, pushing it, forcing it. They said to him, 20 mil. I'm telling you, 10, 20 mil. If you get overdone, there's a cash. Bang. Offshore cash.
Under the table, don't forget, under the table too. Under the table. Yeah.
This is that's what's done. That's what's done because what it is, Anton.
1 second, Mo. I'll get you on. Yeah.
What you're saying is right, Anton, and 100% right. Because what it is at the day, right? When you say to like an agent and say, look, get this deal done and everything, I'm gonna, chuck 3 or 4 million in your bank account. What will happen then? And the day it's in that agent's best interest in the day to get it done. Do you know what I mean? So what will happen at the day, right? You're all of a sudden you hear stories in the day about the fact that he's always wanted to play for Chelsea. He's a Chelsea fan, and Chelsea was always a destination. And I agreed personal. This is what they said. This is what they said in there. That Caicedo agreed personal terms with Chelsea in May, which is BS. There's no way at the end of the day you agree personal terms.
He was supposed to go to Arsenal as well. He agreed with Arsenal last year.
It was a verbal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, but it wasn't like you agreed personal terms. He might have said it like Chelsea might have come in, sniffed round for him in May, and if it's that right, and presenting the package and everything, and he's like, oh yeah, I won't mind going there. But there was nothing written in stone to say that, and they like, you know what, that you are gonna go to Chelsea, and that's what he's trying to say.
Be honest. There's no way Liverpool is gonna pay a 21-year-old 250 bags. There's no way.
No. We know that.
But Liverpool's all about developing the player, Anton. You know that.
Exactly.
Liverpool's
No, but the thing is, but they're not going to pay
Liverpool
that.
only do players' welfare,
They're not
innit?
going to
That's
pay
what they
that
do.
fee.
They want to take you to the next level as a player.
Listen.
Yeah.
You know when they was dragging their feet to pay Mo and Mane and Van Dijk. Don't think all the world see that. You know, it was a bit of taste in people's mouths. Like, bro, you're like fourth richest team in the world, and you don't want to pay that fee. Are you mad? I'm not going to you. I'm not going to you in the future. This is what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I would love how our club is run some kind of way. It's like with honesty and things like that, and integrity. But nowadays, it's shark eat shark, bro. You got to have some killers in there, bro.
You know, but the issue is,
no, you're right.
You got to go on wicked. You got to go on wicked to get.
No, you're right.
The issue for me is, Liverpool should have just stuck to their lane, because if they went and started like, the upcoming guys, there's nobody really looking at. If we were we should have done this like 2-3 years ago, like an upcoming guy. Caicedo should have been bought like 2-3 years ago, and we could have been ahead of the curve on a lot of teams. But if you can't compete with these big boys, I don't understand why you bid 111 mil.
Money wise. We are bigger, but money wise we ain't big.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Because
the last stream we did say that.
The scouting. I said if they tomorrow, like today, they said to me, and you're running Liverpool now, FSG, you're the guys. Do you know I'm going straight to the scouting team? I said you're fired. Like, why? Come on, I'll just bring them the videos of Brentford. I'll bring them videos of Brighton, and tell me. I want them to speak, and then after they've seen it, I said, tell me why I should keep you.
Yeah.
Tell me why I should keep you, because these men are getting for 3-4 million. How much was Matoma? Matoma was about 3 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they can sell him off for a good 70 million.
That's the thing, though. Clubs like Brighton, like Chelsea, they've got and Man City got multi-club system. So what Brighton did was that they scouted Matoma from Japan. Then they sent him to the other club in Belgium. He did well there. Then they took him on to Brighton. And Liverpool are far behind because all the teams are doing that. Look at Chelsea now. How many Brazilians did they bought and shipped them to Strasbourg?
Yep. Even them people there, them Chelsea, them wicked people. Even their scouting is still good.
They use other clubs. They use other clubs, Anton. They use other clubs. That's what they do. They use other clubs.
The thing is, I know it for a fact. When I told you about Chelsea, I know about people. There's people that I know are still coaching it now, and people that left there. They used to go paying parents like 10-year-olds. See the 10-year-olds like who's going to come on a scout. They're scouted, and saying another team was looking at them. They were saying to the parent, take 2 bags. That's 2 bags to keep them in.
Yeah,
2 bags, Come on, what parent's going to say that no to that? Just to take your son training to keep them there. Because they're pirates, bro. They're pirates in the Caribbean, bro. The man there.
I want to ask you guys a question before we go on. Obviously, it was meant to be an hour, but we're overdoing that. But we've still got time.
For 3 hours.
What do Liverpool have to do next, Uncle Rods? Oh, sorry, Baz. What do we have to do next? Do we counter that? Do we counter that? Do we fight that, or what do we do next?
Go to church next Sunday and pray.
Oh, God.
Pray to Jesus, man. No, okay. Look, we just need to get our. We've got. I don't know if these guys have left already for America, but they need to wrap up a deal quick. We took an L. We took an L today. We were bad today, in my opinion. We just need to go and address the situation as we got them here. Go buy flipping Tyler Adams if you can't buy anyone. It's only 20 million. He's a DM. He'll run for years or whatever. Go buy something. Go buy something. Not just anything, but go buy something, of substance, and you know what I mean, and just go again. You know what I mean. That's all we can do. I just think we are in a big mud because our primary targets have all gone. Okay. There are some good players out there. There's a pool of players that we do scout, but we don't get mentioned. When we look at the Alis of this world, the Bellinghams of this world, the Nunes, the one that went to Wolves, we have good scouting people. The problem is we just don't get them in time before they're worth like 100 million, whatever. We've got players out there. There's so many players. We can just go and get something in. Address our problems. In my opinion, we need a defender. If you're going to spend 100, you wanted a Caicedo for 111 or whatever it is, yeah, that means you've got money. So go and spend 100 million or something like that. Get a 50 million pound midfielder in DM, yeah, and then go and get your, you know, your Anasio or something like that on a 35, 40 million, whatever his thing is. Or if you don't want to do the defensive thing right now, go and get your people like your Kones, 35 million. Go and get your Thuram for 50. Go and get your Anasio. You'll get 3 players for the price of Caicedo. It gives us options. So they just need to go and do something now. Take this Sunday as an L. You know, just go and, you know, recruit.
And move on. Hey,
Move on. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, there's a guy from Benfica, and they was looking at. They was looking at midfielder from Benfica, a Brazilian guy, and he's quality. He's a quality midfielder, but I think that they wanted 120 M's, and then they like
Lewis,
Euro. That's
Lewis, isn't it?
Fell.
Is it
that
Lewis?
is Euro. Huh?
Is it Lewis you're talking about?
Yeah. That Lewis guy. Is it something? What's it called? I can't remember his name now. But yes, I think his last name is Lewis, and he's quality. It's quality midfielder.
It's Florentino.
Yeah, Florentino Lewis or something like that, isn't it? Something like that. Quality midfielder.
Guys, is Kone still available? You know what I mean? He's a quality player.
Yep. He's still there.
Yeah.
He's still Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's still there.
Is he injured or is he okay?
He's still there. He's still there.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. So you go.
Did that to Liverpool.
I will go out now, and I will buy a National. I'll go get him, get that done. Then I'll go to Benfica and get that midfielder. You know what I mean? And negotiate with them. See if we can pay them sort of like about 80 million pounds or something like that. 80 to 85 million pounds. You know what I mean? And stuff. Start the negotiation at 80 million pounds because they've got the money. Do you know what I mean? Come on,
bro,
you can't hide that.
West Ham got that Mexican youth the other day.
Oh, Alvarez.
Bro, this guy is decent, bro.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
only
yeah.
that, he can play centre back as well as DM.
Yeah,
he's mad good in the air, mad good in the tackle. Why couldn't we get him?
Quality.
And he's all around the pitch as well.
What about the Brazilian player that plays for West Ham, Anton? The what's his name? He played last season.
Packer.
Why not?
Packer, yeah.
Why not? Yeah,
88 million. They call
He's
it.
attacking midfielder.
He's brilliant.
He's not DM
Get him,
though.
aren't they?
He's attacking midfielder.
Yeah, he's not DM.
Yeah, but we still need more midfielders, don't we? We still need more.
He's attacking midfielder, left-sided. Right-sided, left-footed, but he comes in. So, yeah.
I think most importantly, at the end of the day, I mean, I know we need midfielders and that, yeah, but most importantly, at the end of the day, as it showed today in the game, yeah, we need a DM. We badly need a DM. You know what I mean? And to me, at the end of the day, right, if I was Liverpool now and everything that, right, I'll be scouring at the end of the day and looking for a decent DM. I mean, all right, Tyler Adams at the end of the day, yeah, he's probably decent in some sort of way, but I think at the end of the day, we are Liverpool Football Club. We should be sort of like punching sort of like, you know, above that weight of Tyler Adams. Because you check it now, not even Chelsea wanted him. Do you know what I mean? He came to Chelsea, had his medical, right, and all that, and then got told it there, nah, mate, go back to Leeds. We don't want you.
Yeah, that was
bad.
That was like so.
No,
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
If I was my man and they did that to me, believe I'm going to Stamford Bridge still and shitting on the fucking door. Believe I'm filming it as well. And if they said anyone said to me, I said, "Suck out, are you mad?" They said, "Are you mad? You pay me like I'm
Anton,
happy
you know what? Let him sign for Liverpool. Then he gets his opportunity against Chelsea, where he'll bust their ass, bruv. You know, I'm standard.
Mo,
the
the analyst man. So, what is there anyone out there that you know of that can take us to the next level? You know what I mean? We only need a couple of positions, don't we? We don't need an overhaul like Chelsea do. So
yeah, exactly. Like what Uncle said there was Florentino I was about to say Perez, Luis, yeah, he's top notch. Yusuf Fofana as well from Monaco, top notch DM. There's plenty of players out there, especially in South America as well. There's the guy that we even been linked with, and I think that's going to happen for January.
Andre.
Andre.
He's decent.
But I would say if it's difficult to get like a midfielder in now, I would say go for a right back and then have Trent playing in the middle until we.
Do you guys think? But we played Trent in the middle in pre-season. He didn't look good there, did he? Really?
No, but
that was the first two games though. It was like
But the reason I say that, you know, like when you play in the middle, especially in that position, defensive midfielder position, you need a person that's brave. The person that moves around the pitch. Trent is not brave. He won't get in. He won't get stuck in with tackles or anything like that. So that's what worries me about him. He's more like timid. He's more like timid kind of player. You know what I mean?
He will tackle, but he's not alert. He lets a lot of things go past him, kind of thing.
Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But do you know if you're playing that? Do you know if you're playing that when you're playing that sort of like inverted right back, right back position?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's different than actually just being in midfield
yes.
for full time. And I think at the end of the day, if you put Trent in midfield full time as an 8, you know, I think he does very, very well as an 8. Do you know what I mean?
Because not as the DM.
Yeah, no, but we don't want him as a DM. We just want him as an 8. Just be an 8. Because I think you can't play Trent as a DM. You have to play him as an 8.
You need a brave person, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying you have to play him as an 8. So Trent and the day can sort of like can conduct the game with his passes and his pace and so forth. And plus on day them, he's more in area to go and he can score. You can't play down Trent as a DM.
Why don't we go for my guy from Fulham, Apollinia? Why don't we just go for him?
Yeah.
Say, look, drop a little 80 mil. Say, take that.
Apparently, Antoine. Yeah, this is what the next one is. They're talking about getting him, but he's currently injured with a shoulder injury. And I don't know how serious it is. He's 28 years old, though, bro. 28 years old. Yeah, but bro, they're asking for 70 or anything above 70.
I ain't gonna have it, man.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What, 70 million, yeah?
It's a good shout, though, but at 70 million, now get him at 35, 40, then you know what I mean? I think, all right, cool. But yeah, man. Tyler Adams at 20 million, though, bro. Premiership proven.
We're beggars at the moment, bro. We're beggars at the moment, so
yeah. Can any of you play
There's players out there, though.
There is players out there.
I think there's players out there that can do the job at the end of the day, sort of like that we want. Do you know what I mean? And do it very well. But what I think we need to do at the end of the day, right, starting from today, is do our due diligence. I mean, I can understand the situation with Lavia in wanting Lavia in the first place because at the end of the day, he's Premiership proven. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I can understand. You know, sometimes there's always a little risk in the day, sort of like getting players from abroad and putting them in sort of like this league. You know what I mean? Yeah, I understand that. But even when you look at abroad at the day, and you're looking at Portugal league, you look in this sort of Spanish league, even a Dutch league. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look at Benjamin Pavon. He wants to leave Bayern Munich. He's there for the taking, my friend. Pavon is there for the taking. I'm telling you, mark my words. You know what I mean?
Bro, he apparently United are on him or hot on him at the moment. Can
he blame them? Because at the end of the day, right, he was linked with Liverpool. He was linked with Liverpool, and Liverpool and dragging their feet and everything that, right? So Man United and they come in and seeing that sort of like seeing a kind of like, you know, an opportunity there and everything that, right? And said, right, you know what, let's go get this guy because he wants to leave Bayern Munich. He doesn't want to be there anymore. You see it yesterday when he played yesterday. You see how he played yesterday. That's a man that don't care about his team, you know. Do you know what I mean? He wants to go. You know what I mean? So there are players out there and they in each of those top leagues that you can go. Look at what's the game? Newcastle got that Tonali.
Yeah,
you got that Tonali and for that. He looks a good player as well.
Good player.
Do you know what I mean? So there are there, but you just really and truly you just have to sort of like literally
go out. Give me an idea, you know.
There's players out there.
There's another one from Milan.
Varela. No.
Moroccan or Algerian.
Oh, you mean Amrabat?
No.
Ben something. Ben Sasser or something like that.
Benacer.
Yes.
Decent.
You see that?
Left-footed though. He's left.
Yeah, you see that though.
You'll have to
Yeah,
tackle.
we need more left footers in our team.
There's bare players out there. That's the thing. You know, you still got you still got your Kones, you got your Thurams, you got your Gravenberches, you got Vega. You got so many players out there. You just need to make sure you get the right one now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've shown our cards. We've got 100 or whatever million to spend.
Can't get away from that now, yeah.
Yeah, you can't get away with that now. You literally now
Show the
everyone
cards.
knows. Yeah,
Show
go
the cards. You cannot say no now. You cannot say no to anything now. You
Exactly.
cannot say no.
The next player that we wrap up is going to show how long it takes for us to wrap him up. Because if it takes long, that means Liverpool had no clue of who to get next after these two, after Caicedo and Lavia. But if we see a link maybe tomorrow or the day after, and then things get done quickly, then all right, they were prepared for it. But I'm a big fan of Gravenberch, to be honest, and that guy.
Yeah, that's another one.
That's another one.
Do you know what? Gravenberch is decent technically, but as the guy in the middle to cut people down when he needs to tackle.
No, he doesn't need to, but he's got the legs. He's got the legs
to. Don't need to.
Yeah, he doesn't. He does.
Bro,
No,
in that
I'm
position,
saying,
bro.
Not in a DM. I'm not putting him in a DM.
You make them cynical fouls. He's not that guy, bro. He's too nice. He's too nice. You need a cynical man in there.
Because when I watched him back against when he played against Liverpool, and he was schooling Henderson, and he was 19 at the time.
Bro. I can do
guys, can I ask a question? guys, can I ask a question? Do you want to go on, or because I need to, I was only here for hours. Do you still go on for a bit?
I need to. I've done like 5 streams today, and I got to walk my dogs, man.
What about you, other 3? Do you want to give it another 20 minutes? You 3?
Yeah, I'll give them 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes.
Okay.
20 minutes.
I'm gonna wrap up. Lads. Yeah.
Baz, I'll holler at you tomorrow, man. I've got a show tomorrow, so I'll holler at you, man.
Yeah, bro. You know, you got my details, bro. You know what I mean. But listen, guys, big up to your damn selves, man. Big up to the chat. And we'll catch up very soon, man. Hopefully, we got something to cheer about, man, during the week.
It will be nice.
Get like a Barella and a little Kimmich or something like that, and I'll do me good.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
All right.
Big up, Baz. Big up, brother.
Yeah,
please
big
go
up,
subscribe to Baz, LVFC TV. Go and subscribe to him, please. And there's 31 people watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Alfie says, get Lavia and an experienced midfielder and a centre back. That's what we all want. That's what we all want, man. And yeah, we've got the money, so we've got to spend it.
There's another one that said me or something like that. There's someone said Antos. Go on, there's another one somewhere. He mentioned that. I couldn't read it properly.
I think it was 12th man, I think it was 12th man. This one here, yeah?
Oh, yeah. We had that.
Let me change the screen for a bit.
That's the Wild Wild West. Yeah, Wild West, man. I'm sorry, man. Come on! Right now, we can't hold on to how we were doing before, man. That dripping, drabbing, and then we need results now. Yeah.
You know, with me, guys, we just got to show ambition now. You know what I mean? We've lost a big one here. We've lost a big one. Let's just be honest. Let's take it on the chin. Yeah, we've got to bounce back. These owners going forward now can't do that little transfers anymore. It has to be serious. It has to be serious, or you just have to go. That's how I see it now.
Two defensive midfielders, preferably African boys. You know what I mean?
No, Anton, but the African nations though, bro. The African nation stuff. Oh, you mean like play for France or something?
Yeah, and tell them, look, if they do, they say, look, bro, if you're coming to sign for us, I'm sorry, African nations gonna have to just wait until next year. You know what I mean? If you sign for us, they want that. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple things, mate. And say, look, we're paying you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
100%, bro. Dean says, sorry, Caicedo is an idiot and his agent. The whole situation is embarrassing. Not happy. All of us are in the same situation, Dean. I was hoping he comes to Liverpool. Accurate. He was my pick. He was my pick ahead of Bellingham as well. Because this is the type of player we need, if you know what I mean. And like with players at Liverpool, they progress, like I said in the beginning. They become world-class players eventually. With Chelsea, they almost ruined De Bruyne. We might have not seen De Bruyne. We might not seen Salah, you know what I mean, because of them. But luckily, their career has been saved by other clubs. There's Crespo, there's Shevchenko, there's Lukaku. There's just so many players they destroyed down the years by doing what they're doing right now. But you know, players live and learn, innit? Next, you know, Caicedo, if he doesn't make it there, you know, he might play in a Swiss league or something like that, and you know, cry like a baby.
He's usually like who's surrounding the player. If the player is like from like a how do I put it? Like the people around him, his family, whatever, are not thinking long term. You always get a situation where just the money, you know, gasses them into accepting the deal, even though it's suicidal. Like how you signing a 9-year contract, unless there were like stipulations every 2 years, you get like an increase of pay. Or something.
That's what I was just about to say. Does the pay stay the same, guys, with these contracts they give the 9 years one?
I don't know.
Because that's stupid, isn't it? If you think about it, you know, this 9-year contract they get that Chelsea put on players. Does the payment increase, or does it still stay the same?
It just depends. It just depends.
Well, how about if that player gets a career-ending injury? Do they pay him for the next 9 years?
Yeah,
bro. They've got some loopholes, bro. Just like they got there. They all have some loopholes saying we can't no longer pay you because X, Y, Z. If you read the small print on page 75, then you would have seen that. Yeah, we don't pay you.
Yeah,
we terminate contract from then. They're snakes, bro. They're pirates, bro. They're pirates. I'm captain now. You know what I mean?
Let me get to the comments, guys.
I know the pay structure with with Chelsea. It's kind of like what it is at the end of the day. First off, they don't have to pay so much money, but in the long run, they pay more. Do you know what I'm saying? So they may end up paying something like no, sorry, excuse me, about 170 million. You know what I mean? Because they're paying it off sort of like over the 9 years. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's not straight up. It's not straight up.
It's not straight up. And the thing is about it, and this is where sort of like
interest rates, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But this is where Brighton fucked themselves. Because what it was at the day, that Liverpool at the day was going to give them at the day the 111 million straight up. Now at the day they're going to get this in drips and drabs. Do you know what I mean? So they can't exactly at the day rebuild their team really because they're getting in drips and drabs. They're not getting it straight away. Because the thing is about it is this. This is why it took so long at the day to get this deal done.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea could not pay them that sort of money straight up.
No, they find a loophole and then
they find something,
and they're going to pay them. They
find they're going to pay them.
They wanted that. That was the initial thing. That's why we won the bid of the 111 because they was trying to do that first. Then they went to the next one was the 90 million and we owe you the 10. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we went bam 100, 110.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
We got act, so I think they pulled some levers.
No, they want that. It's true.
Man, take this.
It's true what you're saying. It's true what you're saying. And they wanted to do that in the beginning, and they wanted to sort of like structure the deal at the day that so they didn't have to pay them so like this big amount of money in the beginning because they couldn't.
They tried to do a Klerner thing, innit?
Yeah. They couldn't sort of like give them. They couldn't literally give them.
I like this comment.
I know. They couldn't. Liverpool is the only club in the world that bids 110 million and gets rejected. Yeah, facts. Yeah. But you know, it's basically they sort of like they didn't want they didn't want to pay them the full amount straight away. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So this is what they always do. This is why the same reason and that it took them so long to get Ender Fernandez and Nate from Benfica. You remember that time?
Yeah.
Don't blame Chelsea. Blame your owners. Money talk, bullshit walk. He's right. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right. It's right. I'm down with that.
No, but Anton, what you got to realize at the day with that comment in the day, right? It was a fact at the day. It was a fact at the day. They never had the money. They never had the money to pay up in the first.
They never did. You're right.
You know what I mean? So if they had the money to pay up in the first place, it wouldn't have took so long at the day for them to get this deal done. So basically, what this guy's saying really is cap. It's cap really because at the day, sort of like they never had the money. They had to sort of like weigh Brighton down, weigh them down, and they to accept this structured deal. Because at the day, when they set this structured deal now, like Chelsea doesn't have to pay a lump sum in the first place straight off. Yeah, they don't have to do that, right? But over the period of time, they might have to pay more because they're paying it in drips and jab. It's like something. It's like when you get something on, like finance. You know what I mean? You know, you pay you a little bit, but at the end of the finance, and you probably end up spending like double of what you paid. Do you know what I mean? So it hurts in the long run. So what that guy's saying today is cap, because we had the money there. We outbid the people, and yeah. So really and truly, you was the BS. So you lot should have walked. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it's all cap.
It took much time, man.
Big up, 12th man. Big up, bro. So what you think about this, bro? Sad, isn't it? Sad, isn't it? Sad.
We're going straight to the Wild West.
You don't get this anywhere else. Go on.
I appreciate you guys staying on for a little bit longer, and
of course, man,
opportunity to join you guys. Big up to the chat and everything else. But yeah, man. Look, I've been preaching about this a long time before, even before this happened to our club personally. I've been preaching about the state of the game in general, in a personal setting, in the sense of where the game is going, how involved with all these nation states, and how it's getting involved with all these different aspects and angles that people are utilizing, loopholes, and everything else. Whether it's the welfare of the player, whether it's it's the state of mind for the common day fan, or any of the, or just the, sustainability for these clubs. What we're seeing going down right now is not something that is going to be sustainable for a league. It just isn't. For the small, we happen to be fortunate to be involved with a larger base club, a larger structured club when it comes to finances, when it comes to different resources that we can utilize, and different aspects of resources that we have coming in. But one thing that we don't have is that same sustainability for all the other clubs that are involved in our league. It's part of the reason why so many of the Italian teams, even after the Super League went under, continued to hold on to the hope that they get resurrected. It's the same reason why even some of the Spanish clubs did the same, because they understood the fact that the direction that football, the business of football at least, and the relationship it has with football in general is going in the wrong direction. And it's easily being dragged there, and not being, and we're allowing for also the higher entities like UEFA, FA, FIFA, who was one of my former employers. Like, those entities are having such a say in matters, yet they are looking at the bottom line for themselves. So there's a lot of different things that I understand that all of us are up in arms about, with the shadiness that's going on with this deal, but it's also it's a bigger picture when it comes to what is involved with what we see is happening to our game. And we can all I'm to the point where I'm kind of over the Caicedo thing. I don't even care what happens, whether he comes to the club or whether he doesn't come to the club. I've already moved past that day. But what I do know is I want to see accountability be held. I would love to see us get another player. That is one of my main focuses as well. But what I want to see is these clubs that continue to take a basic piss on the game and the integrity of it. And I want to see them be held accountable. I don't want to see a situation where they get to go what City did, which is go to the CAS and then basically get to pick and choose who gets to be the judges for the case. I don't want to get to see, because I shared with, for instance, Uncle Rod's that link with the documentary on the situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to see these situations continue to be held behind doors where you don't have transparency that allows for all of us as fans of this game that bring any bit of the money into it by our own eyes and patronage. I don't want to see this stuff get pushed around or pushed down the road, or kick the can down the road type thing. This needs to be addressed immediately. And I'm hoping that's why John W.H. is in London right now, because I don't think he's coming to London just to go for the fish and chips. He's there because he wants to make something.
Bro, he's going Harrods with his girl. He's going Harrods with his girl, man. He's going Harrods.
Yeah.
That's why he's there, man. That's Knightsbridge. That's near Chelsea, bro. That's Chelsea, bro. That's where he went.
Yeah, listen, that man rocked up at Stamford Bridge, right? That man rocked up at Stamford Bridge. I don't mean funny. FSG rocked up there. It's like say, yo, we're not skin deep people, you know. We're not skin deep people. It was like that. They had this look on his face at the day, like saying like, yo, we know what you're up to and everything that. And listen, we don't respect that. We don't respect how you treating us and that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I just hope now, as 12th man said anything that, I hope that now, like, you know, one, accountability, because there needs to be accountability. Do you know what I mean?
When we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it. You're going to see it in years, and then the months. Yeah, but this is what. Say some. Oh, there's 150 cases with Chelsea, and it's going to be.
I hear you. But
money is going to pay the money, and that's it. Money.
I hear you. But what we want to see, what we want to see at the day, like what we want to see, that's why. I agree with what you're saying, Anton. Don't get me wrong, and I agree with what 12 man's saying. In effect, at the day, right? What we want to see going forward at the day, that's going to make us fall in love with the game again. Because right now, in the day, yeah, the fan base is divided. They're seeing certain things happening, and they in the British football, right, and thinking this is not right. And some people, and they are saying, look, sod it, in the day, right? I'm gonna go and support boxing or MMA or whatever. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
There's people that they leaving the sport
because the competitive edge is gone. Yeah.
So like really and truly, and in order to sort of like get the people back to loving this great game at the day, right? There needs to be accountability. Now going forward for Liverpool now, right? Yeah. What they need to do now is say, look, all right, then you know what? In there, right? We'll take the L on this one. We've got to take the L on this one, and yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Maybe we might have contributed to some of it, you know what I mean, but not all of it, right? Now, at the end of the day, we go out, at the end of the day, we dust ourselves off again, and we go out and get some banging players with the money that we got, you know what I mean? We go and get an Ashley, yeah. We see from Conan still available. We go and get him, do you know what I mean? And we go and get another midfielder, do you know what I mean? Yeah, and here we go. You understand what I'm saying? We just got to do it now. We can't, you know what I mean? We can't sort of like, you know, sit down thinking and then wanting maybe a chance at the day that's sort of like was it Caicedo's coming to Liverpool, because I think
Uncle Rods,
all the trials are done.
You know what Dean is saying over here? I would have liked Liverpool to outbid them and then see what happens. Like to outbid what they just offered now. Do you guys agree with that or disagree? Mo?
Well, I was thinking it in days. Yeah. Sorry, just quick while I'm going to come in. I was thinking it in days sort of like that's something in day they could have done in effect in days sort of like if sort of like Chelsea sort of like went up to sort of like 115. Let's go up to 117. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking like that. Yeah. But I understand why they never done that. You know what I mean? Because it just gets stupid after a while. It just gets stupid. You want the player that bad? Yeah, you want the player that bad? You have him. You have him from that, right? Yeah. We're concentrating on something else.
No, what do you think, Mo?
I think we would have went, man, if we still would have bid for it again.
Yeah, no, I think if we went in again, yeah, the only winners would be Brighton, to be honest, if we went in again. Because Brighton have got like another 2-3 weeks to, you know, get whatever deal they can, because it's not like there's no deadline for them. If Brighton was serious about their first deadline, they wouldn't have let Chelsea put this package together, give them a time to put this package together, and then outbid Liverpool. But going back to what someone said about John Henry being here, I think John Henry being here is not so he can fight for the Caicedo deal. For me, I've got suspicion that he's here, that he wants this FFP to work, and he's just seeing it blow up in front of him, and he's like, "No,
that's what I am saying. That I'm not saying he's here simply because of the Caicedo deal.
Yeah,
I'm saying he's here for what you're saying, in the sense of, look, you know, he's seen this action continue to go on, and all things considered, teams are supposed to be held to certain standards. We're supposed to be held to certain accountability, and yet, here is his club playing by the rules. They actually bid 111, specifically knowing that that's 5 million over technically what Chelsea could bid, and yet now all of a sudden, they're revoking deals for Tyler Adams. They're flipping over things. They're looking in the sofa for like loose change. And just come up with whatever they can come up with just to make this deal happen. And John Henry's like, this, you can't do business like this. This is not the way to do business. It just isn't.
For me, I feel.
Man's looking at Sophie.
I don't think he's here for that. I think because he can't really talk with anything like that. Because he was up for the Super League thing. Remember? He was up.
I know, but he's looking. He's checking the sofa. He's looking at man checking the sofa. He's looking at man today.
Can I say the 12 man?
Hold on. Let me speak to 12 man.
Go on.
What are you saying, 12 man? The man looking at the sofa and that. Looking at the sofa for the little one. When he wanted sort of like a little juice a road, yeah, and he's searching the yard for some change. And he can't find the change, and he got, you know what? There must be some change down the sofa for that. And you find a pound in the sofa for that, and he's got shop and buy juice.
Yeah.
That's what Chelsea done. They're looking for juice money.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
What I was saying is like FSG. Like, look, FSG are built on. They're pure businessmen. These guys are not like here for ego trips or whatever, like a Todd Bowley. What FSG here are seeing that if the sustainability model that the Premier League say that they uphold and they want to uphold, if that gets broken, they're thinking there is no point being in business at Liverpool. And if they see that destroyed due to what Chelsea are doing, what Man City did in the past, then they would have to rethink their strategy. And I don't think they're here because they're here to stick to rules or whatever. They're here to make money. And if they cannot make the money, and the Premier League becomes like a league where how La Liga was with Barcelona and Real Madrid, they'll just be going at each other.
Yeah.
For top players, money just being blown every other day, pressure from fans and all sorts, and the way the market is going now, it's going absolutely crazy. So my thinking is that FSG are like, if this is the way the Premier League is going, I don't think we want to be part of it. But what my man said was about the Super League. Don't be surprised that the Super League might come back due to Saudi. Saudi is throwing a crazy money, and these European clubs are going to come back together. And you'll see the Super League coming back. And remember, which bank was fronting like 350 million each season for these clubs to be in it?
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. And that's especially, what, he could be here simply to say, look, we got raised and hazed for doing what we could do, which is they technically could do and make the Super League. They understood. Trust me, I'm sure they consulted with their lawyers to make sure they could do what they could do. So they got hazed and burned. And again, this is why I'm saying UEFA, FA, all these different organizations that basically have turned the Champions League into the Super League in essence. Like those same groups, those same entities utilized the distrust and frustrations of the fans and just rode that. Allow for them to continue to like span and say, oh yeah, just continue to press on these owners and everything else. They're the bad guys. And I'm not saying what they did shouldn't be held accountable and reprehensible in any ways. However, what John Henry could be doing, and this is just all speculation, of course, but what he could be doing is coming here and saying, you guys basically said FFP we're going to be held to FFP. That was when we were trying to do our thing. We were trying to be held accountable by FFP. So far, we just found out that the most winning team from 2010 to 2020, Chelsea, have been cheating from 2012 to 2019. Before that, we just found out that the most accomplished Premier League team now, or not accomplished, but as in the most winningest Premier League team has been winning consecutively and consistently. Manchester City, quote unquote, has allegedly been cheating as well. Okay, when is it ever going to stop and be held accountable? When are you going to take a point and say, you know what, you're right, this team needs to get its title stripped and needs to be relegated? Because finding these teams will do nothing. You can't take Newcastle or Manchester City's ownership. I'm looking at the numbers I have, are worth 22 billion. That's just on paper, technically. Okay, 22 billion. Newcastle's owners, okay, have a net worth of 620 billion. Okay, you can't say to yourself, I'm going to say $10 million or $100 million. Even you can say, you can say $500 million. That's still nothing. That's still nothing that's going to involve them to say, oh, we got to move away, or we can't go on with our capabilities of running this club, or this is going to actually hurt in our pocket. We'll never do that again. That's not going to happen from a fine. The only way it's going to happen is relegation and stripping of players, period. If you start doing that, and all of a sudden Manchester City's got to play in the Championship League, then all of a sudden that resonates. Chelsea,
we need to be careful what we're doing.
They're basically
listen. But they'll do that, yeah. The league will lose money. That's why they're doing this shit, because they're like,
the league will not lose money.
You need us.
The league does not. The league will not lose money. If you're going to tell me, that's like coming from America. I don't know if we have any Americans on the panel, but coming from America, the whole too big to fail argument is BS. You can't put it to say that you can't say that everything. If we can't punish City because City's too popular. We can't punish. If that was the case,
one second.
If that was the case, I'm going to land right here, and then you can respond to it. If that was the case, then you would have said, then the Italian league would have said the same to Juventus, because there's possibly no bigger team in Italy than Juventus. And if anything, the Premier League, I'm looking at these numbers, these other numbers too. Look, the Premier League makes a revenue of $6.4 billion. Okay, that's twice any other league. They make twice the money of any other league. If you continue to erode the integrity of a league, guess what? People will stop tuning in because it's not fair.
And it's not going to be fun to watch. One team keeps winning the league.
Money is king. Money is king. They're just gonna pay them off, and they're gonna have some things that went missing. Oh, there's an email. Where's the email? Oh, I can't find the email. They'll make an email. I'm telling you, bro, it's not even worth it, bro. It's not the same as like with in Serie A, because they had Mafia was involved.
Mafia was in charge, yeah.
Mafia was involved in that. This one is just clean. They're clean money, according to them.
What's gonna happen? They're not going
to do nothing for them.
But the thing about it is, we're talking about Serie A. Let me just give you the numbers. This is in euros, and then you can go back to go into conversation. But Serie A makes $2.4 billion in revenue, total revenue. In, let's just say, match day revenue. Okay, they make 231 million euros. Compared to in broadcast. Let me show you the broadcast too. And then broadcast, they make 1.3 billion. But you compare that to the Premier League. The Premier League makes $6.4 billion total revenue. They make 901 million euros in match day revenue alone. You can add up all the four leagues, and that's comparative. You look at broadcast revenue, they make 3.5 billion euros. This is not something. This is not a structure. No matter how much the Premier League is messing around and not caring, because they're just seeing the money left and right. They don't want to mess with that structure. They've built this amazing castle, but they'll soon find out that castle's made of sand if they don't get this correct, because that tide is coming in.
You know what it is? Just quick one. I think what's going to happen, is that a team at the end of the day, right? Because things happen which you don't expect to happen. You think, nah, no way, that's not going to happen. A team at the end of the day is going to opt out opt out at the end of the day of playing in the Premiership because they're going to say simply at the end of the day, it's stacked too much against us. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it in the day. If people like Chelsea at the end of the day, right, can do this sort of stuff or what they're doing now, you know what I mean? And literally do it to any players. Then you got Man City that probably can do the same thing. Then you probably got I'm not saying Newcastle will, but Newcastle that day has got the ability to do the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, right? I'm sure at the end of the day, if like we was after a player and Newcastle was after a player and they really want that, and Newcastle really want that player, they'll probably sort of like try little tactics to get that player. You know what I mean? You know? But what that happens at the day is that it makes it unfair for, as I spoke about this the other night, it makes it unfair for these teams at the day that get promoted to the Premiership. The teams like your Luton, the teams like Sheffield United, and so on, because they're thinking that they will look. This is not fair because at the end of the day we're going to get in this league and everything, right? And we probably won't even get a sniff at the end of the day of playing in Europe, and it won't be because at the end of the day we're not good enough. It's because at the end of the day, sort of like we are not able at the end of the day to go out and do these dodgy deals at the end of the day to get these really good players into our club. So we're always going to be sort of like it's always going to be stacked against us.
Bro,
so
that's what I said. That's what I said. We should be playing dirty as well. Sorry.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say,
that's a losing battle.
No. What I'm trying to say, that is good. That is good in a sense at the day, because sometimes at the day you might take the strategy as like if you can't beat them, join them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. But the only problem with that you would face with that is at the day you have to have the financial backing to do that, and most of these teams at the day that's coming to the Premiership haven't got that financial backing. So they're always going to be on a losing slope against these teams. So what's going to happen at there? You're going to get this team one day, right? Going to get a team and say, so it's going to say like we're going to opt out of playing in the Premiership. There's no point.
We can't afford it.
That's it. We literally cannot afford it. We literally at the day. I know we qualified for there, but we literally cannot afford to be in that league. Yeah. We can't afford to be in that league because remember that day, there's only about 1 or 2 years ago, and I think that they sort of like put up the idea of the parachute money, this parachute money and everything that they gave to sort of like they gave to sort of like these teams that got relegated or come in and got relegated and that. Yeah. Before and they used to get sort of like points deduction in the for mismanaging your team, do you know what I mean? And finding that, you know what I mean? And plus, at the end of the day, being sent down to a lower league, and from that, whilst that time, and you had your teams like your Chelsea at the end of the day, right? Yeah, that was doing all their unlearned tactics. And the thing is, what gets me with Chelsea at the end of the day is that these people knew what Roman Abramovich was all about, even before he came into the Premiership. And when he came into the Premiership, it's only because at the day,
he's spending money, Uncle Ross. He's spending money, the infrastructure and everything. Yeah,
his money at the day, his money was with his money. His money was helping the British economy. His money was helping the British economy. So what actually happened at the day, right? With this sort of like war happened in Ukraine, what Britain had to do, Britain had to be seen at the day as squeaky clean. So they had to start severing ties with this guy now. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Because why? Because why, Uncle Ross? The Arab money's coming in now. They don't need him anymore.
Right. And then, as I was saying, I said, but what they did in the day, right? Don't make no mistake in that, right? When he sold his club at the day to sort of like, you know what I mean, to these American consultants and this and that, whatever they are, when he sold these things like that, make no mistake of that. The British government got a nice little billion out of that. They got a nice little billion out of that. They got some money. They got some money involved in that.
That's so why they keep these people in the league, man. That's why they keep these people
in the league. And truly,
and they're gonna say, "Oh, do you know what? Their investigation has gone missing." I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, that's but what I'm saying is that day, right? Is teams. There's gonna be teams at the day that are gonna see that play, and they're gonna say at the day, we refuse to play in that league because at the end of the day, we cannot afford
here on now though.
I know it's not going to be here now. I know not.
all the owners, all the ones in the championship, they all want to go to the promised land.
Yeah, but I know it's not. I know it's not going to happen
money
now.
and things like that.
Yeah, I hear that.
But
Anton, they only think of that.
I know. The thing is about it, I know at the end of the day it's not going to happen now. I know it's not going to happen now, and probably at the day it may not happen. I'm just talking about a scenario that probably could happen. Do you know what I mean? If this league at the end of the day is allowed, as 12 man said, yeah, and quite well put as well, maybe add, yeah. If this league at the end of the day is allowed to carry on how it's carrying on, right? You will more likely get a team at the day that's going to refuse to play in a Premiership because he says that we can't afford to play in there.
Yeah,
can't afford to play in there.
Yeah, you know what they're going to do? They're going to pay. If I was an owner, I would be like, and I know, I don't know, if I bought into a club and I own it and everything else, and I'm about to enter the league, knowing that, there's billionaires upon billionaires in this club or in this league, they'll probably just say, you know what? Why don't you just send us the check and we'll stay down here in the Champions League?
Yeah,
the championship. I mean, you know what I mean? Just send us the check. We're gonna still play the championship, but just send us the check. We should be there. I get it. But
you know what they're gonna do that
for us to compete.
You know what they're gonna do with that then? You know what they're gonna do with that? You know what they'll do with that? They'll go, okay, to the next highest bidder, the next team wants to come up. Come. Money, bro.
Yes,
money.
You're gonna get people.
Come on, man.
JK says money.
Net worth. Brentford's net worth is 300 million. 300 million is Brentford's net worth. Nottingham Forest's net worth is 620 million. Southampton, Brighton, Bournemouth, all in the 1.3, 1.6 million. They're all under 2 billion. I know that. Leicester was under 2 billion.
Million or billion?
Billions.
Billions.
Yeah, they're all around under 2 billion. When it comes to Everton, they're around 3 billion. Leeds, 4 billion. You get into even some of your higher end clubs, some of your higher end clubs like Manchester United, their net worth is like close to $5 billion. I mean, like, because I'm looking at the Deloitte's, Swiss, whatever it's called, analyzation thing, and I mean, you're looking at all these clubs. It doesn't. Most of them are under every club. Even us, we're under 10 million. But I mean, like, the only clubs that are over 10 billion in net worth are Villa, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, and Newcastle.
Wow.
And it's funny. You start to look at, who are the teams that end up in the top 5 who are always competing for the top 5 for some way or somehow? The same teams that are in that super echelon. I get when people were so up in arms about the Super League, but we have a virtual Super League already. And if anything, this Super League is going to get even more muddied with the money coming from Saudi Arabia, with the money that's now being, paid out under the table, like what we found out Roman was doing by Chelsea snitching on themselves. It wasn't like this guy. It wasn't like this was like some email leak. This wasn't some WikiLeaks email
offshore accounts.
They snitched on themselves, and they probably snitched on themselves because they knew they were gonna get found out.
Of course,
and they knew that it was bad enough. It's not a good look if they hadn't done that, because then people would have been like, okay, you're signing these guys 8-year deals. We had to change the loan system because of your club. We now are sitting there with the situation where you've been cheating for a whole decade, that you've been winning a lot of trophies during that whole decade. Okay, from 2010 to 2020, they've been winning quite a bit of trophies, and that's why I'm saying we have to figure out what it is that we do. Not as just Liverpool, not as just Manchester United, or not as just Wolves or Spurs or whoever. As football fans in general, we have to understand that this needs addressing now. Otherwise, we're all fucked.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You know what Uncle Boss said? I agree with him, man. In regards to clubs like the smaller clubs that come into the Premier League, they for years they've been trying to compete with these big boys, and some of them have been administrated. To the point that they can't, come back anymore. Portsmouth.
liquidation.
You know, it's bad. It's really, really bad. But yeah, let's. JK says money actually takes away the quality. Weird as it sounds, 100% right, brother. Mario, you wanna say anything about what's happened today, brother? Before we go.
I knew this was gonna happen. You ever hear the saying "greed kills"?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if you didn't know, now we just got a documentary in it based on what FSG did. So I'm not surprised. I am quite happy because if you go on my Twitter, I've been saying it. I've been saying it for the past couple of days. We do not need Caicedo. With that money that we're gonna spend on Caicedo, we could go and get 3 to 4 players. I am better off with doing that, even if they're younger, inexperienced. We know what Klopp could do with the young, experienced players. We've seen it before. So
Sure.
I'd rather us fill the hole that we have in the team, because at the end of the day, it's about the team. It's not about the individual player. So I'm okay with it. I'm not mad. The only thing I'm disappointed in is we bid $111 million for Caicedo. That means we could have definitely got Jude Bellingham, which was our number one target. The fact that we didn't do that, we went in for a player that wasn't our number one target and decided to shell out that much money. It's quite telling to me. Now, I'll say this. If FSG does not invest at $110 to $111 million this summer, we have a problem. The writing is on the wall. And like I just tweeted, I would rather FSG sell us to Brighton and we swap. We swap owners at this point, because I'd rather get Brighton's owners on board at this time, because they're running a club like a business is supposed to be ran. Liverpool, I don't know, just get up every day and then they just decide, oh, you know what, we're going to go for this player. We're going to throw something on the wall and see what's. I don't like that. You know, you have to have a plan in place. You have to have a plan A, B, C, D, and you can't be running a business and you just get up every day and just be like, oh, okay, what are we going to do today? And they keep giving
We should have went Lavia. We should have got Lavia, man.
Yeah, should have
there is
that.
no reason we should have missed out on both of these players. It's incompetent. It's unprofessional, and we dropped the ball. It's simple as that.
It looks tacky as well. It looks so tacky.
Bad. It looks very bad.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault though. It's not our fault at the day that we missed out on Caicedo. Do you know what I mean? The only thing you probably can say, and the day with Lavia, and the day we should have done a bit better. But this is the thing. I'm hearing the same talk at the end of the day, right? With Caicedo, right? And the same talk I was hearing at the day with Bellingham at the day, right? You know what I mean? That we rather not spend all that money on one player, we can go get 3 or 4 players, and then whether they're inexperienced or not, and then but Klopp can actually bring them up to speed. Why does Klopp have to do it all the time? Why can't we just get the proper players that we need? And and now we always bang on about like FSG don't show ambition, FSW don't show that, and for that. The moment and the day that FSG does show ambition, and it goes Pete Tong, and if Pete Tong, we want to say, well, look at the day, well, you know, it's your fault it happened, and you know you should be spending all the money on one player. You should spread it around. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? I'm showing ambition though. Isn't that what you wanted? Do you know what I mean? So where were the fact that, regardless of the fact that the day that sort of like, you know, that sort of like Caicedo and the day is near enough going to Chelsea, probably going to go to Chelsea. That wasn't our fault. That wasn't our fault. The only talk that hold on. The only talk at the day you can probably give at the day is Lavia and the day. But I'm saying that if they really wanted Lavia, they would have got Lavia. It's obviously that they didn't really want him. Do you know what I mean? Because the only people it's hurting at the day is us. It ain't hurting them. Because they didn't really want Lavia in the first place. Because if they really want Lavia,
because we got no defensive midfielder.
But if they really wanted that player, Lavia, if they really want him, they would have got him. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
But
You really
It's always one
evaluated
day they
it
wanted
when they
Caicedo.
gave it
I know
value.
what they want. Hold on.
one thing that
There was
didn't
one
make
play,
sense.
they wanted, 1 second. There's only one. The only thing is what it was at the end. It's obvious at the day they wanted Caicedo more than what they wanted Lavia. That's my point. They didn't really
Uncle
want
Rods,
Lavia.
Uncle Rods. They don't think Lavia is worth 50 million. That's why.
Right.
They
That's
don't
the
think
thing. They
that.
didn't really want him.
Yeah.
Can I?
Is-
We're going to pay 48. We're going to pay 40 or 46.
Is
Go on, bro.
Caicedo though the like double to triple that of Lavia? Is he
Yeah.
3 times the player? I don't think he is. I think
I mean,
Lavia
I'm not saying that. I
would
don't
have
think
reached
necessarily he
would
is,
have
but I
reached
mean, like,
Caicedo's
I'm saying
level
they-
within 2 years,
Yeah, I think so.
and he's 2
Go on,
years
Mario.
younger.
I think I've put it this way. Out of like Lavia and Caicedo, yeah, in the day, I would have gone for Caicedo. I would have gone for
Me too.
Caicedo.
Me too.
What,
You know
for
what I
three
mean?
times
So
the money as
I
well?
do think at the day Caicedo and Day is a better player than sort of like Lavia. I don't think it's like obviously way. You know what I mean? Like, the margins are actually massive, but there is a little piece of a margin there. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean? So I would have rather had Caicedo first. So really and truly, and they, you can probably say at the day, right, what Liverpool should have probably done at the day is probably gone for Caicedo first. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling
yeah.
you
Like
something.
from the
I'm
beginning of
telling
the
you something.
season, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I'll tell you something, and they didn't really want Lavia. If they really wanted Lavia, they would have brought Lavia.
Paid-
They would have
Can I
bought
say
him.
something?
If anything, this shows that
Torban, hang on. Let Mario speak. He was speaking before you. Go on, Mario, please, brother.
Yeah, my apologies, so man.
all right.
Uncle, I'm gonna give you guys a little insight on how these franchises are ran. I'm in the United States, right? For a living, I work with professional athletes every day, every single day. There's such a thing called grandstanding. You guys know what that is?
No.
That's when a particular franchise wants a player, and they go out, and it's almost like a peacock. You ever see a peacock try to lure a female?
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So he opens his feathers and show, oh yeah, it's beautiful and nice over here, and everything is rosy. The Yankees, the New York Yankees was purchased back in 1963 or 60, somewhere around there, for $80,000. Right? It's that franchise was one of the most expensive, most richest franchise in the world. Okay. I could come to you, you're selling a house, and I could come to you and give you an offer and say, yo, I want to buy this house. Here's an offer. That doesn't mean that you're going to buy the player. That's what grandstanding is, right? As a club, when you're going into off-season or a transfer market, you already have the people or the assets you're trying to go after already lined up, and you already know what you're going to spend and what you cannot spend, right? The fact that Uncle said it's not our problem, it's not our fault, it is 200% LFC's fault.
It's not.
We should have.
It's not.
Listen.
Guys, let him finish.
Disagree. I disagree with that. It's
I
not our
understand.
fault.
It's okay.
You have
Not
your
our
vote.
fault.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I disagree with that. It's not our
Go,
fault.
Mario.
So this is what I keep going back to. As fans, we tend to just take whatever LFC says, FSG, and we just run with it, and we don't hold them accountable for their actions. Listen to me. We cannot continuously doing this. Every year it's next season. Next season. So what? You're gonna give them another chance next year and say, oh, next year they'll get it better. And then when next year comes, we're back to square one. We're in the same position. They make an offer for a player late in the transfer window that they know they don't really want. That's grandstanding. You don't. Listen, we know what Liverpool does.
Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
No, but we've talked about this before. I've talked about this before.
Guys, let him finish. Let him finish.
When LFC wants a player, we know what they do. They don't waste time. Look what they did with Virgil. Look what they did with Dominic. Look what they did with McAllister. Look what they did with Diaz. Look at the Diaz signing. I don't even have to say anything else. Look at the Diaz signing. That will speak for everything. Look at the Diaz signing. We cannot continue. Uncle, I get it. You have your own opinion. We're all entitled to
Yeah,
our
but
own
I've talked
opinions.
about this
But at
before.
the same time, we can't just be like turn our left cheek and be like, okay, yeah,
Can
we're
I just
gonna
say?
get it done.
Can I
You
just
know what
say
I
one?
mean?
12 man,
Yeah,
before you
go
come
ahead, go
in.
ahead. Yeah,
12 man, before you come in, I'll just say one thing and everything that right. 12 man, I'll be quick because I know you want to say
Yeah, do you
something.
think?
I'll be real quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Number one and day, what you've talked about, I've talked about already. Yeah, I've talked about that already. Number two and everything that right. I'm one of FA's and 12 man will tell you. 12 man will tell yourself. I am one of FSG's biggest critics. I will criticize them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, right. Number three, at the end of the day, if somebody at the end of the day, right, is continuously does some things wrong, yeah, but they do one thing that is right, I will praise them for the one thing they do is right, and I will also criticize them for the things that they're doing wrong. Now, in this scenario here, isn't it, right? The only thing that you can probably say they did wrong at the end of the day, right, is they didn't move fast on Lavia, yeah? But I tend to think at the end of the day, the reason why they didn't move fast on Lavia is because at the end of the day, they didn't really want him in the first place. Because if they really wanted him, as you said at the end of the day, Virgil van Dijk, all them sort of people there, right, they went out and got him. So if they really, really wanted Lavia, they would have got him. I think the player that they really wanted at the end of the day was Caicedo because he was linked with us before, even before he was linked with Chelsea. He was linked with Liverpool in the last days at the day of the transfer window, a year today. Yeah, well, not a year this month. Yeah, he was linked at the end of the day with Liverpool. Yeah, and he was linked with them before that, and even before that season finished and everything that they would talk about Liverpool gonna go for Caicedo. You know what I mean? So linked with a long time. So I reckon that they wanted Caicedo. Now it's blowing up in our face and everything that right. We can't just say we can't say well, we're gonna discuss it and all the bad things that sort of like FSG's done and from that right. We know this and everything, but in this case, they did everything right. They bidded the money. They identify the player. They bidded the money. They won the bid. They discussed the fee. They discussed personal terms and everything that they didn't anticipate at the end of the day, right? Chelsea coming in and playing the underhanded tactics and to get the player. So what FSG got to do now, going forward and everything that, well, they've got to think, well, look, if you're gonna play dirty and everything that, right? You know what I mean? We're going to play dirty. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do that, everything that, right? Well, then at the end of the day, you just go out and identify any player at the end of the day that you think at the end of the day that Chelsea or these other people ain't going to want. But the fact is, at the end of the day, is this, at the end of the day, right? We know all that stuff about FSG. We know all that stuff what they've done because I am their greatest critic. You know what I mean, right? But
not greater than me, bro.
I will criticize. No, I have. Trust me.
Not greater than me, bro.
No, trust me. I've criticized them. I'm still doing wrong. Listen, I've got into arguments and so stuff. But I'm the sort of person. This is how I grow and everything that, right? Yeah. I will criticize you at the end of the day, right? If you do things wrong, but if you do things, I will also praise you at the end of the day if you do things right. Sorry, tough man. I didn't want to take that long. Sorry.
Uncle,
Let 12 man come in. Let 12 man come in.
Let me just hold on.
Let him respond.
Let 12 man talk. Let me tell you.
Yeah, 12 man is
Talk
going
back,
to be real.
That's waiting.
He's responding to you. Go on.
I'm just responding to you real quick. Listen to this. You ever play Sunday football where you guys have a bunch of people standing around getting ready to play and you guys have to pick your player? And
they've done it in school.
And somebody picks you and then they're like, oh wait, no, not you. I didn't want you. I'm gonna pick the next person. And then at the end, you are the last person that's left. And he goes, okay, you could come now. How are you? How do you feel when that happens? You don't feel pretty good, right? So I don't blame Lavia for what he did. Liverpool showed interest.
Same as that one.
Claim that they showed interest. But I'm gonna tell you something, and I want you to remember this. At the end of the season, if Liverpool doesn't spend this $110 million, you would know they were full of it. You hear me? So it's either they spend this money and make it right, or they don't. And if they do, then I was right. Right?
Go
All
on,
right,
12
12
man.
man. What you say, 12 man? What you saying?
Look, everyone, like you said, is welcome to their opinions. I don't understand sometimes how some people want to hear their narratives be right about bad stuff, especially, but their narratives of bad things be right about a club that you want to see successful. It's kind of like an oxymoron in itself. But what I do know is there's a lot to compact down from what was said. Look, we talked about, you brought up Jude and about how we didn't spend the money for Jude. Look, Jude is on 300,000, I think, pounds, at least 300,000 pounds a week. Okay, 300. That would make him, if not the richest, or if not the highest paid player. What's that?
350.
350. Okay, that would not only make him the highest paid, or if not one of the highest paid, it would make him second, if not the highest paid player for someone who's never kicked a ball in the Premier League. Second, it matters when you do try to figure out transfers. Everyone talks about net spends and everything else. Net spends, you have to include the whole concept of what you're going to pay the player, because you can't even. I overheard people talking about how like things get done. Look, I'm coming from a perspective of the industry perspective, and you can't even talk to an agent unless you have permission from the club to talk to the agent. And normally that means you don't just say, "Hey, can I talk to him?" If anything, you would most likely just knock out that business first in saying, "Hey, we want to talk to your player to see if he's interested." And the club will say, "Well, what's it gonna you gotta wet our whistle to make us interested." Okay, so what are you gonna interest us with? So it's a process in getting to the player. It's not like you just call up the agent and it goes through and everything.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That is completely true.
100, and I could bet my life on this. I work in the industry.
You can bet your life that you can okay.
No.
You don't want to do
what
that.
I'm saying is,
You definitely don't want to do that, because I can tell you the reason why Klopp is in hot water with Chelsea, for instance, is because he contacted Colwill, and he contacted Colwill without without Chelsea saying you can talk to him.
I think you're misspeaking. You can't contact the player, but you can contact the agent. You're free to talk to the agent whenever you want.
No, you can't.
Player,
you have to go through intermediaries to get to the representation of him. So you can talk to like his mom or his dad or someone that's connected to him. They can't prohibit you from doing that. But you can't talk to the agent or the actual person that will be making a representation of the player.
That doesn't work like that. The club is
one person talk at a time.
The agent is hired by the player.
Does, but I'll say.
Guys, don't talk over each other.
We're going on with the
12 man,
other
finish
things
your
I
one,
wanna
mate.
point
Finish
out.
your
My apologies.
We spoke on Diaz. We spoke on Diaz, and you brought up the point about Diaz. Is that we went in for Diaz? If anything, if it would show to me not having ambition, in the sense of the Spurs went out, made the deal, did exactly somewhat what we're complaining about with Caicedo in essence, But Diaz said, "I'd rather go to Liverpool." So we basically did what we did in essence of getting Diaz in, showing ambition to go for a player that we were going to go for in the summer window. We happened to see that there's another team that he was going to be interested in, or was possibly of taking him. So he picked up and went with them. It's that simple. Like, as in, also you said something about Brighton, right? I have this long list, geez, because there's a lot of people that talk. But like, the deadline with Brighton, the deadline is important to keep in note, because when you deal with the deadline was our leverage. If there was no deadline and we went for this deal earlier, we would not have had any leverage, because then they could have done what they did, which is pull deals off the table or sell players or figure out one way or another to arrange the money to be able to get over what they were allocated to be able to spend under FFP. That's why the deadline was super important.
It was an official deadline.
Yeah, that's not an official deadline
from the club.
Yep.
It wasn't.
Brighton said that we would like to make a deadline. The deadline for making a decision is tonight. They said midnight was the deadline. That's
You
what
can see why it
reported.
wasn't. You can see why it wasn't official because it went over that time.
It overexceeded.
You can see why it wasn't official because it went over that time, and then the next couple of days, next day, 115. It's gone way over the time. Way over the time. It's 48 hours.
That was not an official deadline.
Brighton has
If it was
decided.
official, if it was official.
So wait. So what was being reported is all. If you're going to go against what was reported, I'm stating what was reported. You guys got some inside track or you got some inside knowledge that I don't know about. Cool.
Yeah.
I would love to know it. You can express the sources and everything else. I'm going with what was reported. What was reported was there was a deadline. Brighton provided a deadline for these clubs to make a deal. The deadline was met by Liverpool.
They called their bluff, bro. They called their bluff. I'm telling you, 100% is a bluff. It was a bluff.
It was met by Liverpool.
Just to keep them, it was a bluff, man. It was a bluff.
It's an auction. There's an auction.
It would have been official.
No. There's official auction and day, right? Yeah. Hear what I'm saying? There's official auction at the day, right? An official auction at the day ended at 12 o'clock. Ended at 12 o'clock.
Was there Uncle Ross? Was there? Hold on. Uncle Ross, was there any paperwork signed if it ended 12 o'clock? Was it word of a mouth, or was it a paperwork?
What actually happened after the 12 o'clock? Liverpool got told that and they won the bid. So that's when Liverpool agreed the fee with Brighton. That's when Liverpool went to Caicedo's representatives in the day, right? And they discussed personal terms for the actual for the player. So everything was done. The mere fact at the end of the day that sort of like Brighton, that was that these guys at the end of the day have been allowed to negotiate again with Brighton at the end of the day, right? And extend it till they found the money. Yeah. It's a shady part about it. It's a part at the end of the day that sort of like I'm saying at the day that like Brighton at the day need to sort of like give some Liverpool some recompense, because you cannot say to a club at the end of the day that's interested in your player, I say right at the end of the day, this is what we're gonna do, right? You're gonna have a bidding auction at the end of the day, right? Yeah, a bidding auction, and this bidding auction is gonna finish at 12. Whoever's got the highest bid at that time wins the transfer, as it were, wins the transfer. You can't go and say that. You can't go and say that to a team of people, right? And they submit their bids for the player, and then right. This team falls up short. You win the bid and everything, that right? Yeah. But then this team that falls up short is allowed to come back again at the end of the day, right?
Crazy.
And piss in somebody's ear.
It wasn't official.
It was official, though. It was official.
It wasn't official. It wasn't run by. It wasn't run by the Premier League. It wasn't run by the Premier League.
It was official, though. Because there's no point. Listen, it was official. There's no point in saying it.
Anton, 1 second. Anton, you can respond. Anton,
let me finish. Let me finish. What is the point at the end of the day of making something and they? You might as well say it and they won't. Then and they transfer deadline and they ain't official. You know what I mean? You might as well say that. They set this out at the day of like how are they gonna do the transfer of Moises Caicedo. It's official. Don't think at the day because of their man was able to come in and everything that, right? Do you know what I mean? Able to come in and do all this sort of like underhanded thing there that it wasn't official. Don't think at the day sort of like FFP is not official at the day because people like Man City, people like Chelsea at the day are allowed to sort of manipulate it. It's an official thing. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's an official thing. And that's why and they I can't say it and they that well then we have to we're gonna have to agree to disagree
here. Anton,
we have to agree to disagree. You know what I mean?
It went past the 12 o'clock.
12 man, carry on. 12 man, carry on.
No.
48 hours.
Anton, you want to say something, or is that done?
So I'm saying it went past the 12 o'clock watch. They was meant to say it's official because it was official. This is official. Because if it's official, what I'm saying, if it's official, and then this club done this and it's official and it's done by the FA.
Yeah.
If this club pulled out of that agreement, who's paying fines? They'll be paying fines straight away.
There you go.
They'll be paying fines straight away. If it was official,
say less, bro.
They'll be paying fines.
Great.
Think about it, bro.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Oh my
It
God!
doesn't matter.
Oh my God! So what Man City? All right. So what Man City done?
Guys,
What Man City- what Man
Uncle
City-
Ross,
hold on.
please. I respect
What-
you, please.
I just want to say
I
one
mean,
thing.
that's
I've
because-
Let me say
got
something.
to go. I've got to go because
We got to go. We're gonna wrap it up. Uncle Ross,
I
please,
just want to say one thing.
Go.
Just one thing. So if you're saying that and they think that right, it's not official. That means that they sort of like what Man City done with all their cheating and all that sort of stuff that they've done, and we all know they've done that. You know what I mean? Because they had a sort of like a thing, closed doors, so nobody can talk, say anything. That means that wasn't official then. That wasn't official for these things that they are official because they set them out. This is how they're doing their transfer, and if they're doing their transfer like that, it's official. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hold
on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 12 o'clock.
It's not
Hold
the
on,
FA
hold on.
player. It's the
Hold on,
club player.
Anton. Hang on.
Can't you listen? Don't you want to listen to anybody? You don't want to listen to anybody. What I'm
Uncle
trying to say.
Ross, relax. Go for it, Uncle Ross. Go.
No, but what isn't? Not what isn't. If I'm saying something, I can't take somebody sort of like talking over me. Do you know what I mean? When I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to say today is this, right? In the day, right? Whether you believe it, whether you don't, is at the day. It was an official at the day, right? It's an official agreement. It was an official agreement that these two clubs bid for this player. Yeah, these two clubs bid for the player. Now, however, just because at the end of the day, right, that Chelsea was allowed at the end of the day to come back in again and everything that with some underhanded tactics, it doesn't make it less official. It was official. So what isn't there? The onus is at the end of the day goes on Brighton. So Brighton at the end of the day should have said to Chelsea, yeah, listen at the end of the day, you put your bid in, they put their bid in, you lost. Don't want to hear anymore. But Brighton at the end of the day are scared of Chelsea. They let Chelsea do what they want, if that, right? Because remember at the day, Chelsea still had to offload these people, offload that, and everything that, right? And in that time, they got to bought by Lavia, so they got to spend at the day 800 million in a year, in a calendar year of like transfers and everything that, which is not allowed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So all that sort of situation at the day where the thing at the day with like. What Brighton said, it was official. Just because we lost it doesn't make it less official. And what is Brighton really and they should be coming back to Liverpool, right, and giving Liverpool some form of recompense because what they've actually done, they've mugged them off.
When he's done, please.
I've got to go anyway.
Official.
Hang on, Uncle Ross. We're gonna wrap up.
I've got to go because my battery's run down.
The only thing that was official was the bids from the teams. That was official. What Brighton did and said at 12 o'clock, that's not official. Mm-hmm. That's why no one's getting. There's no repercussions for it.
There you go.
That's why there's never going to be repercussions for it. As simple as that.
Guys. Let me just put it out there. People watching back, people watching now. We love each other. We're Liverpool fans.
Absolutely.
This is a debate. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring you every night. We're back again tomorrow with hopefully the same people. Around 10:15 after the game, the Monday Night Football.
Tomorrow I'm bringing my mum as well.
Bring your documents, guys. Bring your documents, yeah? Get everything ready.
I'm bringing my mum.
Alright, guys.
I'm bringing my 9 as well.
Mo, where can people find you, brother? Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you. You need to unmute.
Sorry, yeah. You can find me on Twitter, No Beats, YouTube, No Beats, and pretty much all the social media, just putting No Beats, apart from Instagram. I ain't got the time to go on every platform. So Twitter mainly and YouTube.
Well, nice one. 12th man.
Currently under FIFA and FA transfer rules, if a club wants to procure the services of a player registered with another club, they must speak directly with that club and obtain
12 man. Save it for tomorrow. We're back. We're back. I promise you. We're back.
Player or his representatives. Look,
okay.
I'm all
back
about
tomorrow. I promise you.
I'm all about information, but I'm also about accurate information.
Yeah.
If there's anything, if I'm speaking on something, it's either from experience or it's because I've done research on the subject.
Yes,
I also would like to say, if you want that kind of information, definitely continue to be engaged with content creators like myself and those on the panel. You can find me at Liverpool 12th Man on YouTube, and you can find me at the Reds 12th Man on Twitter. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate the chat for listening to our conversation and participating in this dialogue. And that's my speech.
Big up, Tova.
Big up, brother. Mario, unmute, please, if you can, if you're still there. Where can people find you, brother? I know you're part of this channel, but where else can they find you?
Oh, you guys could always find me on LFC Trader on Twitter. I appreciate you guys allowing me to come on here and chat with you guys, regardless of, you know, the different differences that we may have as far as, you know, the transfer market and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're still all very respectful of each other, and it's just talk. It's no disrespect. So if we don't, we can always agree to disagree on different subjects and matters. It's okay. That's how it's supposed to be.
It's just family. It's family squabbling at a dinner table. That's
as long as we're not being disrespectful to each other, calling each other names and stuff. I'm good with the banter.
Absolutely.
So
facts.
I don't want. I just want you guys to know that when we come up here and we debate, it's nothing personal against you guys. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. And I appreciate you guys again. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Big up, brother. Anton, final person?
Yeah. You can find me on Anton01 on Instagram. Or you can find me on this channel. Freestyling, not getting all the facts, just freestyling, bro. Top of the dome, man. Top of the dome, you know what I'm saying? Freestyling, bro. You know what I mean? I just get it from I get it from the cloud, bro. The black cloud.
Experience. It's
You know
from
what I'm saying?
experience.
Yeah.
I know
Big up,
some
Anton.
shit. I'm doing a black Jedi mind trick. Anyway, later.
Big up, bro. Everyone, thank you for tuning in today. Listen, we're family at the end of the day. Like, we're going to bring you this on a regular basis. You know, the channel's picking up. Please go subscribe to all the people that's been on here. 12 Man, Uncle Rods, Nuru Beats. They're the ones who have the channels. Anton and Mario are part of this channel, so you're going to see more of them, obviously, with 12 Man and Nuru Beats as well. So please go and subscribe to them. Don't ever think like, you know, we think of each other in a negative way. Like Mario said, we're family. We're going to have this disagreements. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion at the end of the day, people. If you don't give them the platform to share their opinions, what's the point actually doing a YouTube channel? There's no point. So tomorrow, I'm hoping everybody gets their documents ready so they can have another debate. Let's Talk LFC episode 42. So it's going to be around 10:15, but I'll be back with, obviously,
In the morning?
No, 10:15 in the evening. Sorry. After the game, after the Monday night game, and I'm gonna be back around 2:30. The usual 2:30 with Harley. We're gonna discuss the game yesterday, and we're gonna hopefully discuss other transfers. Yeah. So yeah, people, thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. Please subscribe if you haven't, because we're trying to get to 2,000 now, and hit that subscription button, notification button, and like button. The notification button will always alert you every single time we come on as well. So please do that. And you know,
big up the listeners too. Big up the listeners.
Big up to all the chats. Big up everyone else as well. And anyway, thank you very much. Please do that for us. Hit the like button, hit the subscription button, notification button, everything. So I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow. Two shows we're showing. 2 shows.